1948. And over the years, some things have been addressed at the property that maybe should not have been done. When we submitted the permit over the time, over the years, some things have been addressed at the property that maybe should not have been done. When we submitted the permit over the time, over the years, some things have been addressed at the property that maybe should not have been done. When we submitted the permit over the time,
Good to know there's a lag.
some things have been addressed at the property that maybe should not have been done. When we submitted the permit over the time,
Bear with me, sorry.
Mute them. On the button, down there. That one's not.
Oh, that one, no.
On the button. Oh, it's now.
Oh, no.
That one's not.
There.
That's funny. I don't just turn them off.
Testing.
Okay.
Okay, I think we got it. All right, you were telling me about the property. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. So from doing the review process, speaking with Peter, we had to go out to the property. There was some documents that he requested.
Mhm.
So an engineer was brought into the property, and through that work through and talking to the owners, they decided there's so much there that really needs to be addressed. They wanted to start from fresh. So she wants to update and renew the entire property. And if they go through the process of redoing this roof, which is an issue in itself, the way it's been taken care of over the years, she did enter into a contract with the architectural firm and engineer. And we were hoping that the city would allow us time to get those plans and permits submitted to totally update this property and bring it up to today's standards.
Let me ask you this, what does having the roof done, getting your permit issued, have to do with the interior remodel?
Well, if they spend the money redoing the roof and their plan is to remodel the whole building and expand it and give it a bigger footprint, and what has to be done to this roof, it really needs to be just totally removed.
What are you talking about trusses? Go ahead and, oh, go ahead.
Peter Ringel, building official with the city of Lake Worth Beach. I did have a conversation with the representative of the owner yesterday. The roof that was put on is going to have to be completely ripped off because it was all done wrong. And there are structural issues with additions that have been put on the building over the years without permits. What they are requesting is a amendment to what the city proposed in this case, and the city is amenable to that. But the reason why they're here today is it took them a long time just to get to this point. Okay. So my recommendation would be to do a bifurcated order, an order saying they have this much time to get the permit and then this much time to, once the permit is issued, to complete the work. And, you know, that's what we are here today to get hammered out and get something in writing, because this was issued almost a year ago.
And that's my concern. We're here on a roof violation because they did the roof and they didn't have permits. I understand the issue regarding it being now structurally unsound. And when you're talking structurally unsound, are you talking the trusses?
Yes, we are talking about the
The
roof.
trusses, the actual
Yes.
trusses have to be removed and redone.
Correct. There are additions to the building that will need to be removed and replaced. Yes.
That affect the roof.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-mm. In your, since you're dealing with the building department, because how long would they be needing to go ahead and even get the permitting process to go ahead and get to that roof?
The process, they'll probably need to do a site plan amendment because they are modifying the building.
And
So
I'm trying to get the time.
the timeframe would be about 3 to 6 months to get the permit. And then another 3 to 6 months to complete the work. And I would let the respondent address those timeframes
Okay.
to make sure that works for them. And then, the fines as far as, the $150 a day, I think are appropriate. If you have further questions, I will let you proceed.
All right, so is the property currently occupied?
Yes, we own Victor's Produce that we've been established there for 23 years. It's in the community.
Okay, so what are we doing then if they have to do all those renovations with them being in a structurally unsound property?
At the time they start the renovations, they will need to vacate the property. Right now, the places where the roof is unsound is over the coolers in the back of the building.
Okay.
So it is not occupied space.
And when you say where the coolers are, is that inside the house, outside the house? Is there a porch?
It's a lean-to porch that was built on the back of the structure, and underneath that is where they have the walk-in coolers.
Okay. Other than yourself, does anybody go back in that back room where the coolers are?
Just us, that when we get stuff out of it, the coolers or working.
Is there another location for those coolers that they can be removed so I can go ahead and prevent people from going under that roof that is unsound?
Your Honor, what you mean removing what they store in that cooler to another location?
Well, under typical circumstances, and I'm going to be very blunt, I would not allow anybody to be in a structurally unsound property. That's a liability, period. That's a huge liability for you. It's unsafe for your neighbors, so many reasons. The city's trying to work with you. And on the mention that it's only one portion of the roof being unsafe, I'm trying to figure out a way where there's a compromise where nobody gets hurt in that area. So if we're able to go ahead and move those coolers, I mean, again, I don't know I haven't seen the coolers. I don't know what we're talking about. If they could be removed somewhere else or the contents moved somewhere else so that there is nobody going in that area of the home, because that highly concerns me. Is that something that can be done?
Your Honor, if I can make a clarification, the area, the roof over those coolers is not an imminently going to collapse. I don't believe it's structurally, quote unquote, unsafe to designate where the building can no longer be occupied. But if they're going to do the work right, they're going to need to remove those portions of the roof. So it's my professional opinion that it's not structurally unsafe where they would have to immediately relocate all the things, because it is not a space that is open to the public. I don't feel that it reaches the level of structurally unsafe, but they will need to redo that portion when they go to make the appropriate renovations and put the roof back on right.
All right, so let's talk then about the timeframes.
I think he's correct in the time frame that it would take will be 3 to 6 months once it goes through the process. And then it'll probably be another 3 to maybe 6 months to actually do the complete construction, because they're going to take it down from the starting point, from the beginning. They're already prepared to close for some time while that construction is going on. We're going to completely change the footprint and update the facade to bring it up to today's standards.
Okay, so my inclination on that basis and based on what the building official went ahead and provided, my inclination right now is to go ahead and do an order based on the recommendation made by the city, but I'm going to ask you to come back in the 6 month point for a status, because I want to make sure that it's moving along. Me going ahead and giving you technically a whole year and the city not knowing what's going on, next thing you know, a year from now, you come back, hey, I need more time. So we want to go ahead and make sure that it's progressing, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All righty, so I hereby,
Sorry, Glenn, for a
Yeah.
second. Could we just ask that status being 3 months and not 6 months?
sure, we can do it 3 months.
Sure, I'm moving along.
I hereby find that the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. I'm hereby ordering the property owner to obtain permits within, we give them 3 months and complete the work within the lifetime of the permit, which is actually, it's like normally 180 days here, right?
180 days.
Okay. Okay, so life of permit, with a status conference for you to come back in 3 months. Failure to comply with the deadlines imposed herein will result in a fine of $150 a day until the violations are corrected. I believe there's a request from the city in regards to administrative costs in the amount of $425.29 to be paid by August 26th of 2020, which request is hereby granted.
Your Honor,
Yes.
just so we're correct, I think I heard you say that we needed to have those permits in 3 months.
3 months.
3 months we're coming this.
But in 3 months, they're coming back. So
For status, okay.
and that's the reasoning behind it, because in 3 months, if you have had a hiccup along the way, you say, hey, I don't have my permit, but this happened. Then you're letting me know, you're letting the city know, and then we can go ahead and assist you and keep you moving.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
All right?
Okay, and that would be, just for the record, that would be October 28th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case.
We're gonna go to page 3 of the agenda. Item number 8, case number 20-2159. This is a public request for an extension of time for compliance. Property address is 14 South M Street. Property owner is Weber Real Estate Group 2 LLC. Building inspector Jeremy Scott.
Case number 20-2159, Weber Real Estate Group LLC. 14 South M Street is location, building permit required 23.2-21. Apply for, obtain, finalize, and close permits for window installations on property. Issued courtesy notice of violation hearing on 9/14/20. Re-inspected, found to be in non-compliance 5/26/21. Issued formal notice of violation for hearing by certified mail 2/17/2021. Property was re-inspected on 2/17/21 and 5/26/21, found to be in non-compliance. Photographs of the property have been taken. Personal contact with the property owner, we have not. I think building official Ringel had been in contact with Mr. Weber. Recommendation time is going to be August 26th, 2021, fine of $150 a day, administrative cost $425.29, be paid by August 26th, 2021.
Okay, and this is coming before us on a request by the respondent.
Yeah. Good
Okay.
morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Yeah, so,
State your name and
Eric
relationship.
Whitten. Yeah, so when this permit started in October 2020, this contractor that we have a new contractor now, but this contractor that did that, he had us write the money for the windows, his company. And I guess there was something wrong with the permit, something didn't pass with the windows. He didn't answer our phone calls. And it took us all the way until April 2020 to actually receive possession of the windows. And we kept on calling him and said the historical board said there's something wrong with the color of the windows, got to have a certain transparency. So we had to get a whole new contractor. He ran away with our labor money. You know, we finally got the windows after, you know, I had a deal with him and finally got the windows in like April or May. And I had Abraham Fogel come over to the house last week and they looked at all the windows. The windows are correct. It just needs certain buttons we could have got the buttons, but the transparency of the window is not right. So it looks like we have to get all new windows.
So let me get this straight. You got the windows, put them on, spent the money on putting them on, and now it turns out they're wrong windows and you have to take them all.
No, I mean, the first set of windows, we did put them in without a permit, the ones that are in there.
Okay.
Those aren't correct. We have to remove those. I bought a whole new set of windows. They're sitting in the house right now. And we could have easily put them in with the manufactured ordered buttons,
Mhm.
but the color isn't right. So I asked the guy, are we able to change out the actual
I see.
glass? And he said the labor would come out to just buying a new window. So just keep in mind, I've spent, over $8,000 on those windows that are sitting in the house. And now it looks like I have a quote here from like about 2 weeks ago for $7,100. So I have to buy the windows again to be able to pass through the Historical Society. So
How long did it take you to get through the Historical Society the first time around?
I'm sorry.
How long did it take you to get through the Historical Society the first time around?
We didn't know what was going on. The first contractor, he was talking to them and he dropped the ball and he wasn't answering me. He said, oh, I'm gonna work on it. He kept on giving me that. Then I finally called the city. They emailed me and they're like, those windows didn't pass the Historical Society. So then first, before even coming back to the city to see what's going on, I had to go after him to even get possession of the windows. So he was a crooked contractor, nothing new. But then I had to go find somebody new, new contractor, and I went through 2 or 3 contractors that even wanted to deal with the situation. So
Well, it sounds like very well phrased that you pretty much have to start over. So my question to you is, since you have to start over and you have the additional burden of having to go through the Historical Society to go ahead and get it approved, about how much time did that portion, the Historical Society review portion?
we contacted them in May, the first contractor I had. And he didn't want to do it. And then
So you never actually finalized even the Historical Society portion?
Peter Ringel, building official. The original application was on October 20th of 2020.
Okay.
And the review was completed October 29th of 2020. And the contractor was told that they would not pass historical review. They needed additional paperwork, and the additional paperwork was never resubmitted. The contractor withdrew his permit application, and so that is the current status of the permit. In order for the permit to be obtained, they would need to have a new contractor come in, apply for the appropriate permits. At that time, it would go through the historical review process, which would be a week to 2 weeks to obtain the permit. And just in the owner's defense here right now, manufacturer lead times on windows is about 6 months. So my recommendation would be have a new contractor apply for the permits. That should be 30 to 60 days. And then from the time of issuance of permits, give them 8 months in order to have the work finished and inspected.
I'll just give him life a permit. Does the city want to call this one back on status or?
Yes.
Okay. So let's get it at the 60-day point. Okay, I hereby find that based on the evidence presented by both the respondent and the city, that there is good cause for the granting of the extension. And I'm going to go ahead and grant the 60 days for you to attend the permit and life of permit to go ahead and get the work done. But I am going to request a status conference, status update in 60 days, just to make sure that that permit has been issued and that you bring your signed contract so that I know permit got, contractor got, we're moving.
And now, one question, keep in mind, I do have to buy these windows again. Do the windows, can I let them know, can I show them this receipt, the exact windows we're buying? Do the windows have to be purchased just to get the permit, or can we get the
No,
permit?
the permit is actually just documents.
It's just in lieu of buying
Yeah.
the windows.
Yeah, yeah. Talk to the building official, man, it's gonna be paper.
Okay.
So you don't have to actually have the windows purchased, you just have to know which windows you're purchasing so that the city knows what they're approving.
Okay, and then what was the allotted time that you granted?
60 days to go ahead and get the permit.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying like to buy the windows and complete it.
I'm not putting any restrictions on when you buy your windows, where you buy them, what color they
No,
are.
I'm saying like how long until the whole thing has to be complete?
Again, that's not part of my order. My concern is that you get a permit and that you get the work done and it gets inspected. Whichever way you get that done, that's your problem. My concern is that you get your permit within that 60-day time period. And that hopefully by that point in time, when you come back for status, you have a contractor in line. The windows have been ordered because you heard the building official who already told you there's a 6-month lag on these. So don't wait till the last minute to place that order, because otherwise you're gonna come back to me in up to November, say, oh, we need more time because there's a big lag on the windows. And I might tell, we told you so. So make sure that your permit, get them ordered so you can assess for the lag and get it done, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Yolanda Robinson, City of Lake Worth. Just to be clear, so we're doing 60 days for him to obtain the permit. So you're not ruling on a time for completion as of yet. You're gonna do that at the status?
Well, no, I did. I put life of permit.
Oh, so that'll be the 180 days.
Correct. And that way it gives him enough time to have hiccups along permitting, do the orders,
Mhm.
have the contractor tell him, oh, we're backed up, we're not coming in for 2 months.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for addressing that. That's what I
Yeah.
meant, like the whole period is 180, right?
So from the point of permit, 180, yes, that's why I say I don't care when you go ahead and buy them or you buy them. All I want is by the time that permit expires, you're done.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't have to tell you with all the suppliers.
Correct.
Order windows, it's a nightmare, but.
Correct,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
All right.
Luck to you.
Krista Simmons, City of Lake Worth Beach. So the status hearing is going to be set for September 30th.
60 days, yes.
Okay, so you'll need to be here again on September 30th.
Yeah, that's
I'll send a
fine.
notice out.
Well, am I gonna get a notice in the mail?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Thank
Right,
you.
Thanks for your time.
Next, please.
Page 15, item number 40, case number 20-121, property address is 728 North M Street. Property owner is Vasil Portos, building inspector Scott, and I do not believe there's a respondent here on this one.
I'm sorry, what was the page again? Or the agenda number?
Page 15, item number 40.
Okay.
20-121, Cordos Vasil. Property address 728 North M Street. They were found in violation for 23.2-21 for building permits. This is for siding on a house and reframing of some portion of the structure. They were issued not notice of violation 12/8/20, re-inspected and found to be not compliant 2/16/21, 4/17/21, 7/23/21. Certified mail received on 12/8/20. Property was re-inspected on 7/23/21, found to be in non-compliance. Photographs have been taken of the property as well as updated photos. I have not had personal contact with the property owner. Recommendation time, August 26/21, with a fine of $150 per day. Administrative cost of $425.29 to be paid by August 26/21.
Okay, do we have somebody here on behalf of the respondent? Okay, I have confirmed service of process in regards to the notice of violation and the notice of hearing. I hereby find that based on the evidence presented, the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. I'm hereby I'm hereby ordering the property owner to come into compliance by August 29th, 2021. Otherwise, there's a fine of $150 a day until the violation is corrected. And I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 for as fees and costs incurred by the city, and bringing this matter before the magistrate. Okay.
Next is item 42, case number 20-2156, property address of 920 North Dixie Highway. Property owner is 914-920 North Dixie Highway LLC, building inspector Jeremy Scott.
Case number 20-2156. 914-920 North Dixie Highway LLC. Property address 920 North Dixie Highway. They were found in violation of 23.2-21 for building permits. You need to apply for, obtain, and finalize enclosed permits for the front facade, and there are other violations that were found by building official Ringo. We issued courtesy notice for violation on 12/28/20 and re-inspected on 2/16/21, 4/12/21, 7/23/21, still found non-compliance.
Okay, do we have somebody here on behalf of the respondent? Okay, I hereby find that based on the evidence presented, the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. And as such, I'm ordering the property owner to come into compliance by August 26/2021, otherwise face a fine of $150 a day until the violation is corrected. I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 for fees and costs incurred in getting this matter to the magistrate.
Okay, next is item 43, case number 20-2870. Property address is 223 North M Street. Property owner is Lori Miller and Gregory D. Rice. Building inspector Jeremy Scott.
20-2870, Lori Miller and Gregory Rice. Property address 223 North M Street. Found in violation 23.2-21 for building permits. They have to apply, obtain, finalize, and close permits for bathroom remodel. The permit has been applied for, but outstanding or failed inspections exist, and some permits also need to be applied for, which still haven't been done to date. Issued a courtesy notice for the violation 5/26/21, re-inspected and found to be non-compliant 6/23/21, 7/23/21. Certified mail was received on 5/24/21. Property was last inspected on 7/22/21, found to be in non-compliance. Photographs of the property are in the file, and we had that contact with the property owner. Recommendation time, August 26/21, for a fine of $150 per day with administrative cost of $425.29, be paid by August 26/2021.
All right, do we have somebody here on behalf of the respondent? Okay, I hereby find that based on the evidence presented, the violation as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continues to exist. I'm hereby ordering the property owner to come into compliance by August 26/2021. Otherwise face a fine of $150 a day until the violation is corrected. I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 as incurred by the city in bringing this matter before the magistrate.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah. go
Oh,
ahead.
I gotta take them, okay.
Yeah, I'll get.
That's okay.
Okay, next we're going to page 16 of the agenda, item number 45. I'm sorry, item number 46, case number 21-804. Property address is 427 South Dixie Highway. Property owner is Iglesias de Mejia Inc. This is Fire Inspector Del Rossi. Special measure, there's also item number 47, case number 21-1709 with the same property. Gentlemen? It's going to be items 46 and 47.
Inspector Del Rossi, Palm Beach County Fire Rescue. Need to go through a little bit of background. This is the third month in a row that this property has been to hearing. It started with, I did an initial inspection on, on February 9th, 2021. I did the inspection on the exterior building, and at that time I found 9 violations, and I sent them several notices saying I need to gain access. They didn't contact me to gain access. So the first hearing,
was in April. And the magistrate's order was they had to, it was April 2nd, they had to let me gain access by the following Tuesday to do the interior inspection. They got me the access, and then, so we came back on second date, we came back again, and it was last month, and I gained access to the inside. So what I had to do was it's called an other inspection. It was like in addition to my annual, and that was for all the violations inside the building. And there was another one. 17 violations inside the building. Some of the most concerning things are the fire alarm is non-functioning. It hasn't been inspected since 2004. There is roof issues, there was exterior wall issues, large amounts of electrical violations. So there's a whole bunch of things. So then we're back here for the third month as kind of a status check. Also, Peter Ringel and I went there to make sure it's still structurally sound because of all the damage, which structurally it's still sound, but the fire marshal on 6/24/21 after the last hearing had me proposed a cease and desist to have no one in there because the fire alarm is non-functioning. And so from 6/24/21, they haven't supposed to have anyone in there for services or anything. His order states that only if it has to do with building permits and correcting violations can there be anyone in there. To this date, all they've done is they got approved for some repairs on the exterior walls. And then nothing else has been corrected as of this date.
And the big question, have they abided by the cease and desist, not allowing anybody in there?
I have a question for that.
Oh, okay. All righty. Go ahead.
We know about all the violations that the fire chief have put on us, and we've been working on it. It's not that easy to find those people.
I'm gonna interrupt, I'm sorry, I don't believe they've been sworn in.
Oh, you know, okay.
Oh,
Oh, do you raise your hand? Do you swear from the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And also I need your name and address for the record.
So Charles, 1801 West Atlantic Avenue.
Thank you.
Yes, we do now have ADT working on the fire alarm. It's been back and forward with appointment and appointment. We finally close with them this morning. We set up with them. They're gonna be taking care of that. I think they're gonna be applying for the permit that they needed. They are now responsible for that, so we're good with that. As soon they get the permit to start working on that. We're working on the fire door and on the door also. The company says that they got it ordered from Canada. It's gonna take some time before they get the payment to replace it. That's where we are. And we also working on the outside wall, as you see, and the electrical issues.
Yeah, did the prior magistrate address all the other violations besides just the giving you access?
It was,
There should be copies of the orders in the file.
Oh,
I'll put them on this side for you, the two orders I have previously.
oh, great. Oh, there it is. I heard you talk about the fire door. I heard you talk about ADT doing the alarm. What about the other violations? What are you doing with those?
We We have a bunch of people working on the wall right now. I'm gonna get in contact with them to see where they stand and what's holding, because they started since last couple of weeks ago. And the electrical issues, we have someone working on that. So we're working in
And you're getting permits for all this stuff?
most of them.
Most of them?
When I say most of them, because as ADT,
I appreciate the candor.
as ADT right now, they going to get the permit. So I don't have it yet, but they will.
Okay,
And the door also is A&E door and hardware. As soon the doors come in, they will get the permit also. So all I have the permit for right now is for the wall.
well, you don't have to, like with the other gentleman, you don't have to wait until you get the physical door to go ahead and have your contractor submit for permitting, because for permitting, it's just a matter of having the notice of approval.
Okay, I can talk to them about that. They are the
Yeah,
ones.
because that way at least it shows, hey, this is moving, he's got the permit,
Yes. We
it's
are definitely
working.
moving, yes.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get that taken care of. Okay. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, I think she has.
How about the electrical work? Has the electrician pulled a permit for that?
But they haven't put on the
They
permit
haven't.
yet, but
Okay.
I'm gonna ask to do that this week.
Have they done any work in there?
The work that is being done is clear the way so they can see all the issue that need to be correct. So all the garage stops have been cleared, and whatever they need to be seen, they already clear out for them to see exactly what needs to be done, so they can put out the permit.
Okay, my next question is, I was given confirmation that there's an apartment upstairs in the church.
Yes,
Is there anyone living in there?
yes.
Okay, there can't be anyone in there right now. And I'm gonna have to do some research to find out if that's approved as an apartment, if it was ever addressed that there was
It
an
was,
apartment up there.
it's been there before we even get there. It was an apartment himself,
Just because it's there doesn't mean it was approved.
Yes.
So,
you know.
so whoever's living in there can't live in there until the cease and desist is lifted.
Okay.
Other than that person, you're abiding by the cease and desist and not having anybody downstairs?
No,
You are abiding by it or you're not? Which one is it? Do you have people there
on the apartment,
downstairs?
no.
No, okay. How cooperative has he been?
I haven't heard anything from them since the last hearing. So, nothing saying this is what we're doing, no emails, no contact.
I've looked at the prior order and the prior order was everything done by June 29th.
Your Honor, Krista Simmons, Code Admin Manager, City of Lake Worth Beach. The one that you're looking at now.
That was the access one?
Yes, that was permitting access. So then the other case, which had a new notice sent out, which would not have an order in it, that was for the interior violations that were found when Inspector DeRossi went inside. So I just wanted to clarify the difference between the two cases.
Okay, and which one's 46 and which one's 47 on the agenda?
Number 46 is, I believe, the one you're looking at now, 21-804. That was the one that went previously.
Okay.
And then item number 47 is all the violations that she found when they went inside the property.
Okay.
And according to my notes from the last hearing, it was on the 24th of Thursday. He gave till the following Tuesday for them to comply, and then it was $250 a day.
But technically they did comply though, so.
Well, no, this was the very last one. It was for everything.
Does the city have any recommendations?
Well, no additional time. They haven't been in contact or anything, and then continued the $250 a day.
that is my inclination, and then that will get you going and getting it done. And then the city has a mitigation process, right? Reduction of fines process. So my inclination right now is to, when it comes to the order that was already entered, and he came here for status, right? Both are status.
The item number 47, we had to send a new notice out because those were new
violations.
violations that were found, so nothing's been ordered on the second one.
Okay, so in regards to number 43, the request for the extension is denied. But if you get it done quickly, you can go through the mitigation process and just show outstanding circumstances and that you were able to comply as quickly as possible, and that will be taken into consideration for a reduction of those fines.
When I have a talk with the ADT agent, they say they might take like weeks, even months to get the thing set up because they're weak.
So your fines are gonna keep running and they're gonna be astronomical, and then you gotta do what you can to go ahead and get everything taken care of so that the city can consider whether to reduce the fines or not. Because obviously you know that ignoring the city didn't work before, so.
My request is right now, it's anywhere while we're working on things that we can use the building.
The fire marshal already told you what she requires for you to be able to use the building if she thinks that it will be
Yeah, we
safe.
need to reiterate that the cease and desist is in place until the violations are corrected.
But all of them, I think that's what we're concerned about.
I'm gonna look at the cease and desist. Actually, I think,
I have it.
yeah, a picture of the notice, he put specifically.
I just saw it.
I think I have it.
There it is.
Yeah, he didn't put specifically. It's definitely gonna be till that fire alarm is completed and final, and that's probably gonna take the longest.
All right, so my recommendation is gonna be, once you get that fire alarm, reach out to the fire marshal and find out if you could go ahead and they can come out, check it out, inspect it, and see if they grant you the access to go ahead and have people in there. Because at the end of the day, it's a life safety issue, and that falls on that one. Okay,
So with the permits, it's gonna be permitting approved and then all required inspections passed. And then I can go to the fire marshal and say, can we lift the cease and desist? And then it's also gonna depend on how much other work you've gotten done in that time frame as well.
so the more you can get done, the better you're gonna look.
All right.
The better off you're gonna be.
But we need to make sure that no one is living in that building
Okay.
and no one is in there, no services or anything, just repair works, permitting stuff until this is done.
Okay.
All right, so let's do the next one.
The item number 47, case number, don't leave yet, sir.
So we gotta do the other
This
one.
is the interior. We're gonna go with the interior now that she found on the inspection. So that's item 47, case number 21-1709. Property address is 427 South Dixie Highway. Property owner is Elise de Mojea, Inc. Fire Inspector Del Rossi. And this is for the violations that were found upon interior inspection. And no order has been entered on this case yet.
None of those on the interior have been corrected.
No permits have been applied for any of those either?
No.
Okay.
I have a question. Is ADT saying that the whole system has to be replaced?
Yes, from what they've been told. And they have to do, pull out the plane, and charge us money that we don't have to do the whole thing. It's up to $37,000. I never heard of that. Yeah.
Did you get any prices from other companies?
We kind of try that, but we buy in time because we don't want, while we're checking out the company and wait and wait and wait, how long it's gonna be, we don't know.
Well, I would definitely suggest because you can schedule multiple companies in one day, they'll come out and maybe talk to them and see if you can find a company that's, a little bit more reasonably priced. Our intent isn't for you to spend money needlessly, but we need to get everything in
Compliance.
compliance.
Is there anybody that you can?
Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to recommend anyone.
Google is a wonderful thing,
There's a lot of local
but
companies.
so is what Bang and Yahoo and all the others. Just in case, you never
There's a lot
know.
of companies locally that you can talk to.
Okay.
All righty, I have reviewed the file and enter a finding that service was achieved, both of the notice of violation and the notice of hearing. I hereby find that based on the evidence presented, the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. I'm hereby going to order the property owner to obtain the permit to apply for the permits within 30 days, to obtain the permits within 60 days, and complete the work by the, let me see, 60 days after. I'm going to go ahead and put you also on status conference at the 60-day point to go ahead and make sure that you have a lot of stuff going on in this property. So we want to make sure that it's moving along, okay?
Okay.
All righty, and I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 in fees and costs incurred in bringing this matter before the magistrate. All right, so see you in 60 days.
Okay, so I just want to be clear, so I have my orders correct. So on the first case, number 21-804, the fines are accruing based on the last order.
Yep.
Okay, and then case 21-1709, I didn't see anything for permits. I think that's why I'm confused.
There's a lot of stuff in here, especially the items, well, let me see.
That's where the fire alarm
electricals.
is, electrical, all that's on there.
Yeah, you're gonna need permitting for that. Doors,
For maintenance and testing?
yeah,
Yeah.
circuit breakers.
Okay.
Yeah, now
There's
that
there's
they've looked
permits.
at it, they realize that the system isn't functioning, it has to be replaced. So that's kind of where that comes into play.
Okay, so I'm sorry, can you redirect?
So we have
A little
the-
lost there.
So we have the 30 days to obtain the permit, to apply for the permit.
Apply, okay.
Just because it's
And 60 to obtain?
60 to obtain, to get it done, yet to get started with the work.
Okay, perfect.
And then 60 days thereafter to go ahead and complete it. That is super generous.
And then a status hearing for September 30th.
Yes, because I want to make sure that the permit has been issued and he's got his contractors in line and things are moving.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Next case. Oh,
Next case is item number 45, case number 21-1475, property address of 1200 North G Street. Property address 1200 North G Street, property owner is Pro Child Early Learning Center, Fire Inspector Del Rossi.
Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, Nicole Del Rossi, Fire Inspector. The property is 1200 North G Street. I went there to do, downstairs is a daycare.
Okay.
So I went there to do their annual inspection, and they also were changing owners, so they needed like a new approval type of thing. When I went upstairs, there's a second floor, and they had remodeled the entire second floor to a church without any permit. So everything else that was like, there was a couple of little things that I had for the daycare, they took care of that, but the issue still remaining is the upstairs. We had a meeting with, building official Peter Ringle, myself, the assistant fire marshal, the contractors, and the property owners, on site on 6/10/21. And we spoke about a couple of different options. They submitted for a permit for that upstairs. On 6/21/21, it was disapproved. Just based on, second floor, there were some things that they can't do. So I believe Peter Ringle spoke to them, and they're going to hopefully change the permit to possibly make it storage. Because they can comply with the storage. So they're trying to get this stuff done. It's just kind of slow going.
and the whole idea of turning into storage is still just an idea. They haven't actually taken any proactive steps like get
Right,
permitting,
they haven't
put them
come
on
in and changed
permits or.
they haven't revised their application or
And-
anything like that.
to the best of your knowledge, they're still using it upstairs?
That also, the fire marshal, for the second floor
Mhm.
issued a cease and desist on 4/20/21. So, yeah, I've gone over there a couple times. There hasn't been anyone up there, but that needs to stay in place until this is completed as well.
How? Should we have somebody here on behalf of the respondent? Okay, that would make it easier. Have they been working with you at all? Or?
They have been.
Okay.
My recommendation is give them another 30 days. I spoke to Peter Ringel and
That's-
for them to change the permitting, and then get everything approved, because everything's built. So they just need to get the permits, and get everything approved. So, I think 30 days is reasonable for them to change the permit to what it needs to be and then get all the approvals done.
Or let us know that they're doing something different, right? Whatever that is. All right, I hereby find that the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. I'm hereby imposing a one-time fine. I'm hereby ordering the property owner to commit to compliance within 30 days. Otherwise face a fine of $250 a day until the violation is corrected. And I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 as fees and costs incurred in bringing this matter to the magistrate.
Okay, and I need a date certain for the fine, so the 28th is a Saturday, can we move it to August 30th?
Okay, so I'm amending my order for date certain August 30th.
Thank you. Next, we're going to go to page 5 of the agenda, item number 13, case number 20-2744. Property address is 405 Cypress Drive. Property owner is Ikshot Turdman, Officer Hicks, and Officer Hicks will need to be sworn in.
Sure, from the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, or the nothing but the truth.
I do.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Bobby Hicks of the city of Lake Worth Beach, case number 20-2744. Property location is 405 Cypress Drive, situated on site address 431 Boutwell Road. Courtesy notes for the violations were given on 12/11 of 2020. A reinspection of the property was done on 1/11 of 2021. Found the property still to be in violation. We issued a formal notice of violation and hearing by certified mail on 4/28 of 2021. The certified mail was received on 5/1 of 2021. Also posted a property on 4/29 of 2021. Property was re-inspected on June 30th of 2021 and 7/28 of 2021. Photographs have been taken of all the violations. I did have personal contact with the owner. The violations are sections Florida Building Code 105.1, work started on property without obtaining a permit. Section 14-32, business license required for renting the property. And section 14-35, to pass and schedule the use and occupancy inspection for the rental. The city's recommendation time is September 28th of 2021 for fines of $100 per day, plus the administrative cost of $425.29, also to be paid by September 28th of 2021. I do have Peter Ringel, the building official, to speak about the Florida Building Code.
Okay. You coming?
Peter.
Yeah, just 1 second. I'm
Okay.
writing down some notes. So I can get accurate.
Peter Ringel, City of Lake Worth Beach. 405 Cypress did submit a building permit application for the work on 5/19. It was reviewed and found deficient on 5/29. They resubmitted 6/14 and the plan was still deficient. and comments were given on 6/16. I've had contact with the permit applicant, and they were made aware of the deficiencies in the plans, but no resubmittals have taken place.
Okay, anything else from the city? All right, please say your name and your relationship to the case.
Isaac Torjuman, I'm the owner of the property.
Okay,
I'm aware about the violation, you know, and I want to make a comment. This property is not for rent, and I do not have any business of rental. I buy properties and I flip them. That's what my business. And on this property, I have a woman here, which is part of my life also, and she living there. And there's no rental. I don't rent the property. I've been trying to work with the city since day one, submit the problem. I stopped all order, and I have here the architect, and they had a Zoom meeting with Mr. Peter. And I have a small issue because it says he submit stop order work. And I went to the architect and he said he need a picture. In order for me to take a picture, I need to open the wall to submit a picture. So I'm going to be violated on the stop order. So I cannot do anything about it until I have the opportunity to open the wall, take a picture, go to the architect, and he resubmit whatever he require. Since then, as of that, I have nothing to do. I spend architect, general contractor, whatever he require, I put together. It took me a while because it's very hard to find general contractor, which is specialty, as is required on the trailer. I find somebody. It took me a while, and I'm willing to do everything in order for me to finish this problem because I don't want to live in fear. I cannot do anything. I want to improve this trailer a little bit more, painting and do some things, and that's what I do.
let me ask you this. You mentioned that your architect was in a Zoom conference with the building official.
Yes.
So what was the end result of that? It sounds to me like that was a great idea.
He required a little bit more detail into the plan, which I was there the other day with the architect. And he asked me to open the wall, and he wants to see how's the beam it's been do. And if I need to do adjustment or whatever the city require, I will do so with a general contractor, which everything is licensed, and we submit the permit, and it's rejected because there's not much detail on the plan. And the architect has to work and give the city all the detail about the door. And that's where we are right now. I need to open the wall, take a picture, and submit it to the architect in order for him to readjust all the framing, all the beam, all the truss, and everything.
So you tell me that you are dealing with your architect for something that sounds like a structural issue by phone? He hasn't come out to the property to?
He came.
Okay.
He came to the property, and I have the plan right here.
Okay.
I have the plan right here, but we need to be some adjustment on the plan in order to continue and get approval for the permit.
Okay, let's see if the building official has some suggestions or comments.
Just for clarification, this is a mobile home. This is not a structure.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were aware of that. I did not mention that. But the plans submitted were completely deficient. They had a cement tile roof on the mobile home, and that was the second submittal.
It seems like I'm sorry, but it sounds like your architect is not doing right by you.
No, he came to the property. Now he's gonna have to come back again and replan everything back to according to what is required. Okay, so I'm right there. I have no problem. I'm working. I spend everything is necessary for me to solve this problem.
Have you considered maybe going ahead and having your architect at the property and maybe inviting the building official to go?
That has a Zoom meeting.
Sir, I'm trying to go ahead and assist you. You're gonna have to come into compliance, otherwise fines are gonna accrue.
Right.
Okay, whether interrupt, that's just the end result.
I'm sorry.
So I'm trying to go ahead and assist you in getting your issue resolved. So
Okay.
perhaps you can get your architect to meet at the property with the building official,
Sure.
and they can work it out. They
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So why hasn't that happened?
Because I don't know. I didn't try to contact Mr. Peter. because I hired the general contractor. And I'm like out to the loop because I hired the general contractor. He should know what to do. That's why I'm paying him.
No, I get it, but somewhere there's a disconnect and
Right,
they're not doing what you need them to
I
do.
agree with you. I agree with you. I have no problem to, so anything is necessary to do, I will do.
So, Peter, I don't want to put you on the spot. But is it possible to go ahead and maybe it doesn't have to be you, maybe one of your other officers can go out to the building officers?
I'm happy to meet at any time. They would just need to set up an appropriate.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
So I'm thinking my thought right now is to give him 30 days to go ahead and come into compliance, and that it's his responsibility to go ahead and reach out to your office to go ahead and get that appointment set.
I'm sorry?
My inclination right now is to grant you 30 days
Okay.
to go ahead and
Set up appointments.
set up, no, 30 days to go ahead and get everything squared away. Because the city wants you to go ahead and make revisions to the plan so it can pass permit,
Okay.
right?
Okay,
So I'm gonna give you 30 days to accomplish that.
okay,
But in order to accomplish that, the building official has unknowingly volunteered to meet your architect at the property to go ahead and get this done.
I'm more than happy to do that.
So you want to go ahead and make sure that later today or tomorrow, you contact his office and you set up the appointment. Don't wait until number 29 and say, oh, well, I just called him and he's not available.
No, I will go right now to the architect office and I'll make it happen right
Go
now.
ahead and get an appointment, get them out there. If you're able to go ahead and bring the contractor in, bring him and have a big party.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, I hereby find that the violation as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continues to exist. I'm hereby ordering the property owner to come into compliance within, if it's 30 days, what's that?
I believe that was the August 30th.
So till August 30th to come into compliance, otherwise face a fine of $100 a day until the violations are corrected. I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 as incurred by the city in bringing this matter before the magistrate.
I just want to double check one thing, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So since when I'm making the 30 days is when I make the appointment and then the permit needed to be issued in order for me to comply.
Well, think about this.
Right,
You're literally gonna have the building official
right,
at the property
right.
and he's gonna be there with your architect. So
Right.
if you need additional time, the best person who's gonna know is gonna be him. And he's gonna be right there. So
Okay,
he's gonna be your advocate. If I go ahead and say, no, I'm not giving you any time, he'll step up like he's done a couple of times already. Say, no, wait, we agreed on this, on that.
no, thank you very much.
But I need to do 30 days because I need to make sure that you can move in.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Good luck to you. Next case.
Okay, we're going to go to the first page of the foreclosure agenda, which I forgot to put the pages, but it's the very first page, item number 5, case number 19-2294. Property address is 1113 Crestwood Boulevard. Property owner is Sarah Rodriguez Casas. This is for, this is just simply for an authorization of foreclosure.
Okay,
The case has already been heard.
perfect. Okay, so the city's making the authorization of foreclosure. Where are you with this property and fines and all that? all that good stuff?
I'm her son. My grandmother's also owner of this property. She's 98. We didn't know this property had this violation until a couple weeks ago. The correspondence goes to my grandmother's house. I don't know what happened to it. The first letter that we received that we were aware of this was from June 28th. Since that moment, I've been contacting Mrs. Robinson almost on a weekly basis. Thank you very much for taking my calls. We're in the process of cleaning up the property and of getting the permit for the fence. I think the building inspector, they just walked out, had spoken to the tenant, and they're in the process of trying to get all this done. The fine is substantial. So what we want to do is resolve all the issues and then go for mediation on the fines. But my brother and I are starting to take over more now because, you know, we had no idea that this was going on. When we got that notice and it's 120,000, we freaked out. And ever since then, I've been in contact and we're in the process of resolving the issues. And we've called the building department to get our business license as well, but they told us we have to obviously get all the violations done and then apply again for the business license.
Also, Your Honor, we added your additional phone address and phone number to the case, so now we have direct contact with him. And save all receipts, again, save all receipts, so you can use those to bring the property, the fine reduction down, I mean, fines down, okay? Save your receipts.
Question for the code officer. About how long do you think he would need to go ahead and get all this done if they really hustle? Can they do it in 30 days?
Well, it's not my case.
Oh.
No, because this is just authorization of foreclosure. I wasn't
You
aware.
guys doing a little bit differently than
Oh,
other
okay. I
municipalities.
wasn't aware that they had already contacted the city. Otherwise, I would have removed them from the agenda. So can
Okay,
we just go ahead and give them, I'll 60 days. I'll take you off for 60 days to make sure that everything's.
That was my inclination, like 30,
That's fine.
60
I
days.
think that's more than fair, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And then once we get all that done, then we talk to you about.
I
Perfect.
did the wrong one.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Karen.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to go to page 26 of the agenda. Item number 71, case number 21-188, property address is 1331 South Federal Highway. Property owners DF Investments 1 LLC, Officer Proto. Now, Special Magistrate, there are 6 units in this building,
Okay.
5 of which are all owned by DF Investments 1 LLC. These are all common area violations, so do you want her just to read in, you want me to go ahead and read all the case numbers?
No, normally I do them one by one.
Okay.
So we'll, probably the first one will have just a lot of information and then we'll fly through the other one.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so real quick, what is the number on the agenda again?
Okay, we're item number 71. Case
71,
number-
got it.
Case number 21-188. And you were sworn in, Officer Proto needs to be sworn in.
Okay. Stand up. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right. Thank you.
Case number 21-188. Officer Proto for the city of Lake Worth Beach. Owner and name and address is read into the records. The found property to be in violation of the city's code sections. 12.7 for a dumpster enclosure must be brought up to current code. 14.32 to obtain city of Lake Worth business license. 14.35 to schedule and pass the UNO inspection. 15.39 vehicles, all vehicles parked on the property must have current license and tags. 2-75.6.2 pressure wash sidewalks and walkways. 2-75.9 to clean the landscaping along the alleyway. 23.2-21 to please apply and obtain and finalize the permits for the dumpster enclosure. 23.4-19 to remove all outdoor storage on the property, including limited to the porch areas, okay? 23.4-7, concrete parking lot is a little bit in disrepair and needs to be repaired, okay? And 12-17 has complied. 23.4-4 is to clean all trees, branches that are hanging over into the sidewalk. Certified mail was not received. Property was posted on March 15, 2021. Property was re-inspected on March 27th and found to be in non-compliance. Photos of the property have been taken and I was in contact with the owner. Recommended time of compliance is August 30th, 2021, with the amount of $100 a day. Administrative costs of will be paid by August 30th, 2021. Administrative costs of $425.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so what's going on with the property?
Hi, my name is Dan Demont. I'm the owner of 5 of the units and the president of the association. The scope, the bulk of the project is the repair of the parking lot and the replacement of the dumpster enclosure. The scope of those projects was larger than we anticipated. I've been in the process to obtain a loan, and we'll be able to have that financing in the next 30 days to allow us to complete those projects as quickly as possible. So it's my intention to bring the property fully into compliance, just due to the financial condition of the association and the operation of the rental properties. Given the past 2 years, we had to get financing because it is a larger scope than we anticipated. As to the smaller violations, we have had the patios cleared off of any storage, and hired a landscaper to clean everything up. And it's our intention to resolve all those things immediately. I believe that we can have the financing in place within the next 30 days, obtain the permit within 45 to 60 days, and complete the whole project in 90 to 100.
And do you guys already have a contractor who's going to be doing the work for you guys?
I have not selected a contractor, but we have obtained quotes for both the dumpster enclosure and the parking lot, which are the two largest projects requiring the permits. And like I said, obtaining the financing based on those.
Okay, so because again, I don't know what the lag is in the city, but you've seen a lot of hiccups along the way when people submit for permitting. So I'd hate for you to go ahead and eat up whatever time I give you in having hiccups in the permitting process.
Understood.
Is it possible to go ahead and get you started on with the permit application? So that way, at least again, you get things moving, because I know you're contingent in financing portion, but the city obviously can't wait for you to get financing.
This is Peter Ringgold. The current review time for zoning is 5 to 6 weeks per permit.
Okay,
So please add that additional time in there for the applicant.
that's why I always ask is how far behind are you in permitting, because it fluctuates.
Yolanda Robinson, can we do a bifurcated order again, for,
What's the suggestion from the city?
30 days for the, 30 days for the minor violations, and she can go over the minor violations,
Okay,
and then 90 days for the permitting and the dumpster enclosure completion.
is the parking lot what's actually the bigger issue than the dumpster enclosure, or is it just all lumped up in one big mess?
Yeah, they're both the same, and because it's both the project is concrete work, it's the same vendor either way. But the parking lot is the bigger piece of that. But my intention would be to hire someone, and I'm happy to, have a shorter timeline to get the permits submitted. Because of where I am in the process, I'll start that.
That's my concern, is that permitting
Understood.
issue. Okay, I hereby find that the violations as stated in the notice of violation do exist and continue to exist. I'm hereby requiring the property owner to complete the minor issues within 30 days and to obtain permits and complete the work. So I'm just going to do it all in one big one, 90 days to go ahead and get permitting and complete the work in regards to that parking lot and dumpster enclosure.
Thank you very much.
Otherwise, face a fine. Violation of either of those timelines will result in $100 a day until the violation is corrected. And I am granting the city's request in the amount of $425 or 29 cents for fees and costs incurred in bringing this matter before magistrate.
Okay, I need a little more clarification. I'm sorry. Since
Okay, so we're gonna-
I need the code numbers as to which is.
I thought about that too.
Minor.
So yeah, that was what I'm, I think you probably want to do it backwards. Maybe it's easier to do the parking lot and dumpster,
Okay.
and then everything else is within 30 days.
So you're saying 23.2-21, 23.4-7, and 12-7, those are all for October 29th. That would be the 90
That's
days.
the 90 days, yes.
Any of the others?
And the that building permit, which is the one that's going to be linked to the parking lot and the dumpster, also goes in that 90-day batch.
Yeah.
Instead of actually saying permit by next time, just get it done. You need a permit. You have 90 days to get it.
Okay, now this one also has 23.4-4 fences, walls, and gates. What was that for? It was only on unit number 1.
Was that a falling fence?
Yeah, it was a loose fence.
Yeah, that should be easily attached.
Yeah, that's easily.
It's a-
That's easily attached.
Yeah, that could be.
There's not a fence on the property.
Yeah.
That's not a permit, that's a repair. No
Okay,
problem.
thank you.
Okay.
The next case is item 72, case number 21-189, property address of 1331 South Federal Highway, unit number 2. Case name is DF Investments 1 LLC. Officer Proto.
Office further for the city of Lake Worth. Owner's name and address is written to the records. The property was found in violation of city code sections 12-7. Do you want me to just go like 14-32?
However, the
You can read them because they're pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
So you can just read the code.
Okay, so the code section 12-7, 1432, 1435, 1539, 2-75.6.2, 2-75.9, 23.2.21, 23.4-19, 23.4-7, 1217 complied, and 23.4.4. Certified mail was not received. Property was posted on March 15, 2021. The property was re-inspected on March 27th and found to be in non-compliance. Pictures are attached and the owner was contacted. Recommended time is August 30th. Well, we're doing 30 days, August 30th, 2021, for the amount of $100 a day, administrative cost of $425.29 to be paid by August 30th, 2020.
Okay. Same as the last one?
Same matter, yeah.
Same order?
Yes.
Stipulated to the same order?
Yes.
Stipulated to the same order. Okay, we'll make it quick. I'm sure he has better things to do.
Item page 27, item 73, case number 21-190, property address is 1331 South Federal Highway, unit number 3, property owner is DF Investments 1 LLC, Officer Proto.
190 is going to be the same. I'll give it a hope.
We gotta get it on the record, so.
Officer Proto for the city of Lake Worth, case number 21-190. Property has been found in violation of code sections 12-7, 14-32, 14-35, 15-39, 2-75.6.2, 2-75.9, 23.2-21, 23.4-19, 23-4.7, 12-17 complied, 23.4-4.
Okay, state your name and the relationship to the case.
My name is Dan Demott. I am the owner of the unit.
Same thing as last
I
time?
agree to the same.
Okay, so it's hereby stipulated, same order as the last one. Next one.
Item 74, case number 21-191, property address is 1331 South Federal Highway, unit 4, property owner is Joanna and James Weddle, Officer Proto.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Case number 21-191. Officer Proto for the city of Lake Worth Beach. Owner's name and address is read into the records. Property is found property to be in violation of city code sections 12-7, 14-32, 14-35, 15-39, 2-75.6.2, 2-75.9. 23.2-21, 23.4-19, 23.4-7, 1217 complied, and 23.4-4.
State your name and relationship to the case.
My name is Dan Demont. On this case, I'm appearing as the president of the condo association and representative for the owner, and we're in agreement to the same stipulation.
Okay, great. So stipulated, same order. Next one.
Page 28, item 75, case number 21-192, property address is 1331 South Federal Highway, unit 5, property owner is DF Investments 1 LLC, Officer Proto.
Officer Proto for the city of Lake Worth Beach. Owner's name and address is read into the records. Property to be found in violation of city code sections 12-7, 14-32, 14-35, 15-39, 2-75.6.2, 2-75.9, 23.2-21, 23.4-19, 23.4-7, 17 compliant, 23.4-4.
My name is Dan Demont. I'm the owner of the property, and I agree to the order that we previously stipulated.
For the other ones, okay, so stipulated, same order.
Page 29, item 76, case number 21-193, property address of 1331 South Federal Highway, unit number 6, property owners DF Investments 1 LLC, Officer Proto.
Officer Proto for the city of Lake Worth Beach, owner's name and address is read into the records. Found property to be in violations of city code sections 12-17, 14-32, 14-35, 15-39, 2-75.6.2, 2-75.9. 23.2-21, 23.4-19, 23.4-7, 12-17 has complied. 23.4-4.
My name is Dan Demont. I'm the owner of the unit. I agree to the order we previously stipulated.
All right, so those are stipulated, and same order. All right. The last one?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, awesome. I guess I'll see you soon.
Thank you very much for your
Good
help.
luck to you.
You have a great day, absolutely.
And let's move to page 25, item number 69. Case number 21-1610, property address is 910 North B Street. Property owner is Ezekiel and Maria Andres, Officer Clinton Bush.
Sorry, could you give me that agenda number?
Yes, ma'am. That is page 25, item 69, case number 21-1610.
69, there we go. Good morning. Hi. How are you? Good, how are you? Stand up, raise your right hand. You swear from the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am. Officer Clinton Bush with the City of Liquid Beach Code Compliance Division, case number 21-1610 for a repeat violation for Maria Andres Esquire, 910 North Beach Street. The property location and mailing address is also 910 North Beach Street. Found the property to be in violation of the city code sections based on the repeat code case 0656, recorded on June 17, 2019, of code sections Lakewood Code of Ordinances 2-75.6.2, general requirements in Lakewood Code of Ordinances 22-75.9. That document is in the case file. Issued a formal notice of repeat violation and notice of hearing on July 2nd, 2021 by certified mail. Also posted the property in 1900 Second Avenue North on July 9th, 2021. The property was re-inspected on yesterday, July 28th, 2021, found to be in compliance of all violations. At this time,
Go ahead.
At this time, the property is in compliance as of July 28th, 2021, and the city is requesting a fine of $150 per day for the repeat violation on the homesteaded property and administrative cost of $425.29 to be paid as of August 30th, 2021.
Okay. Can I need those numbers again? You had the 150 a day. For how many days was it out of compliance?
We need a start and an end date for the fine.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
July 2nd, 2021.
No, the date and the day it started. Do you have the date that it started?
July 2nd,
Oh, 2021.
2021. July 28th.
So it was out of compliance for 26 days. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, state your name and relationship to the case, please.
Yes, my name is Ezekiel.
Okay.
Yeah. Inspector coming in my property. I say after I clean up the house and take the door, paint the house, and trim the tree. And I put a fence behind the house. Not same height. Yeah. Yesterday I got people working that. I'm not finished when the inspection coming. And you finish like 2 o'clock. But just today we called the inspector is come today, yes, inspect. We do everything there. And we can do the stuff.
Do you have the seal file, please? Is this one coming in? This one's coming in as new business.
Yes. The order is on the right hand side for you. I'm sorry, the left hand side.
You're just messing with me. Okay, there it is. The 2019. This one goes back to 2019.
Correct.
But this is a new case though, because you said that it started on on July 2nd.
Yes, which makes it a repeat violation.
Got it, okay. That Puerto Rican thing, I'm moving my hands all the time. Okay. Okay, so that's what you recommended one is at 150?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now it all makes sense. Okay, so did you know that you had a prior violation back in 2019?
Yes.
Okay. So that when there's a repeat, it doubles.
Oh,
Yes. So that's why the city is requesting the 150 for those 26 days that you were out of compliance. The mitigation request go to here for city council, right? City addresses mitigation?
Yeah, special magistrate.
Special magistrate, okay. So I have the authority to go ahead and reduce if I need to. He's fully in compliance, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, hold on, just that math. Why? The 26 days times 50. $3,900. Okay, I hereby find that the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist. It has since been corrected. I'm going to impose a one-time fine on the basis that this is a repeat offender. I'm going to do it at $500, payable within 30 days. If it's not going to be paid within the 30 days, I'm going to up it back to the $3,900. Okay, so let me go ahead and do my full order. I hereby find that the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist. They have since been corrected. I'm going to impose a one-time fine on the basis that this is a repeat violation in the amount of $500 and granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 for fees and costs incurred in doing this matter before the magistrate. And that payment of the $500 has to be made within 30 days, otherwise it's going to revert over to the total amount of $3,900 based on the 26 days out of compliance by 150. Okay. So your payment, I went ahead and I actually was nice and I reduced it to $500 because your original fine amount is $3,600. So I reduced it to $500, but you got to pay it within 30 days. Otherwise, it's going to revert back to the 3,600. Okay.
so they did pay the fine,
I'm sorry?
530 days.
Yeah. Otherwise, it goes up to 3,600 because it goes back to the total amount. Does he know where to pay? Where else in here can he make that payment?
Give me my card.
Yeah. If we could go ahead and give him instructions since he only has 30 days to take advantage of the blue light special.
Thank you.
And that's the 500 plus the 425.20.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, that's it, sir.
Is that?
Just make sure you pay that $500 in 30 days. Otherwise, it's going to go back to 3,600. All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, next case.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to go to the authorization of foreclosure agenda, item number 7. Case number 19-3159, property address of 601 North F Street. Case name is Benoit Land Trust Company. This property, the order has been recorded for more than 30 days, more than 90 days, excuse me, and the recording information is there on the agenda. Did you want to speak?
Yes, please.
Come.
Happened to be here for.
Was she sworn in? I don't think she was sworn in.
No, she was not sworn in.
All right, so do you swear from the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Hmm?
I happened to be here for another case and I was accidentally notified that there's 2 other properties that I used to manage before. So I did explain to the city that there was change of ownership.
I don't think she said her name and relationship to the
didn't,
case.
yeah.
Could you please say your name and relationship to the case, please?
Nermeen Hannah.
Okay.
And I used to be the person that manages these 2 properties.
Okay.
So I wanted to, I informed the city last time when there was previous notice sent to me that there was a change of ownership and there will be someone else that will be handling the property. I just happened to be the day for some other case. So I just want to make sure that I inform you of this.
Okay, so but if you're no longer an agent for them, you are not authorized to speak on behalf of this new owner, correct?
No, I'm not here to speak on behalf of them.
Oh, well, you
Just wanted to
signed- you-
inform you.
Oh, yeah, just to get them,
Signed
let
it.
them know, yeah. So that we update, I guess did you receive a notice or something like that?
No, I didn't receive any notice because I'm not the new
That's-
owner anymore. But I happened to, the officer asked me yesterday if I working on these 2 properties and I said no, because I'm not the person
Yeah.
managing anymore. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention that the change of ownership was since December of 2019.
Okay,
The notices are sent to whoever's on the property appraiser's website.
yeah, that's the way, if you got anything, it's because it's in the property appraiser's website, you're still like, your address might still be on there, I don't know, check.
And the lien doesn't go away just because you sold the property.
I did not get any notice.
No, and that's the point. So, okay, so you used to own the property. You no longer own the property.
I used to manage the property for the trust,
Okay,
the old trust. Now there's a new trust. I am not the person who's managing at this point.
exactly.
But I did inform the city when I got a notice last time that there is a new ownership taking place. There was no liens recorded at that time. It was just a hearing to come in compliance.
There are liens on the
But
property.
it gets recorded. Once the time expires, you have,
What day was it recorded?
The information's here. Let's see. It was recorded March 17th, 2020, or book 31301, page 1919.
Right, so March 17th, during that time, the ownership had already been changed. So this
It
new
doesn't-
owner never got any notice of anything.
Papa doesn't update.
it doesn't matter. Once it's lien, once something is recorded in the public records, it's noticed for the world. So if there was a recording made,
That's what I'm trying to inform you. There was never recording that was in place.
when was it that you sold the property?
The
Exactly.
property got changed hands in December 2019.
Okay, and the Betroy's Land Trust Co., is that the one that you were managing?
Yes.
Okay, so different name.
And I think the violation was for a renewal of rental license, and that was already done before I even,
No, it's actually multiple.
possibly, I'm not sure. But she just said that the recording was March 17th, so the new owner has never been involved in any of this.
Did Papa update it?
No.
Because it was, yeah, that lien might need to get vacated and redone.
Did we send the owner notice of today's hearing?
No, because they still have the old owner.
Whatever it was on Papa at the time that it originally came to hearing is where the notice was sent. And whatever is on Papa as of today is where the notice would have been sent for today's hearing. I do see where they did quit claim it. They did a quick claim from one company to another company.
Where was that quick claim?
On December 19th.
Okay.
Yes, but the recording and nothing was public record till March 17, which is after the fact.
It's her company.
Uh-huh.
So it's-
No, it's not my company. It's just for the record.
No, I understand and I appreciate you coming up and saying it. I do get you. I do get it. I'm looking at it.
I didn't know about today's
Yeah.
hearing at all. I was here for another property.
No, I get it.
and They asked me for these two properties.
Yeah. No, you're doing the kind thing about notifying. It's not your duty to do it. I got it. I just want to make sure that I got you.
So that would be for the two properties, the one and six of three.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay, yeah.
so it looks like if we gotta find out what point in time Papa updated.
Your Honor,
Yes.
the city is requesting that the lien remains because it was valid, but we won't go forward with the authorization of foreclosure at this time until we know.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't have a problem.
Now, give you time to get it spread out. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next one.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it. Respondents, did you want to take a
Yes.
minute break?
Thank you.
5-minute break, please.
Thank you.
No, we just are going to right, we're live.
All righty, we're back. All right, for those officers who have not been sworn in, please stand up, raise your right hand for the taking of the oath. Do you swear affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, with that, please call the next.
And if you're gonna stand down there, you're gonna need to go to that mic. That mic's not working.
Okay.
That mic's not working.
No problem. Coming in the other door, I'm expecting to stand.
Sit over there.
Hi.
Okay, we're gonna do the lien reduction. Page 4, item number 9, case number 18-5815. It's a public request for a lien reduction. And the property address is 708 South Ridge Street. Property owner is Bradford Anisette, Officer Turek, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Oh, good.
City of Lake Worth Beach, Sue Ella Turek. The stipulated agreement for lien reduction is between the city and Bradford Anisette. The address is 708 South Ridge Street in Lake Worth Beach. The requirements of section 2-69.3 and 2-69.3.1 have been settled for the relating of this lien reduction. The total lien amount was $12,300. The owner agrees to pay $2,460 to settle the lien release. And if he does not pay that by August 16th, 2021, the lien will go back to the original amount of $12,300.
And we're at the point where we have no more respondents present. Based on the statements from the city and my reviewing the actual stipulation, which has been signed by the property owner, I hereby grant the stipulation. I approve the stipulation in the amount of a reduced fine to the $2,460 payable by August 16th of 2021. And failure to do so will take it up back to the $12,300. Stipulation approved.
Okay, now we're gonna go to page 19 of the agenda, item number 50, case number 21-508. Property address is 1402 South J Street. Property owner is the estate of Angela Rose, Matthew Rose, and also Lahunitz Rose. Officer Turek.
Sue Ella Turek for the city of Lake Worth Beach. The address, the location is 1402 South J Street. It's a vacant property. The address of the owner is P.O. Box 18356 West Palm Beach. The violations are 12-18, remove all trash and debris, 15-39 to remove all inoperable vehicles, and 2-7511 for the vacant registry, which was complied on 7/27, and the document is in front of you. The courtesy notice was issued on 2/23/21, re-inspected 2/24/21, all the way up until yesterday and the day before. I went back twice. I have had contact with the owner. There are photographs, and my recommendation of time is till August 12th, 2021, or a daily fine of $100 per day to pay the $25.29 administrative costs, and that is also to be paid by August 12th, 2021.
Okay, and none of the violations are in compliance, correct? They're all
The
in.
vacant registry.
That's
is
the only
one
one.
in compliance.
Okay. Alrighty, I hereby find that the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist with the exception of the registration. I hereby order the property owner to come into compliance by August 12th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $100 a day until the violation is corrected. And I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 as to fees and costs incurred in bringing this matter before the magistrate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we're gonna go to page 2 of the agenda. Item number 3, case number 19-2146. This is a public request for lien reduction. Property address is 1751 4th Avenue North. Property owner is Hannah King LLC, Officer Hicks, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Stipulated agreement for lien reduction from Hannah King LLC. Address 1751 4th Avenue North. The property is otherwise free of all outstanding debts due to the city, and all administrative costs assessed and underlying code cases of the lien have been paid. Owner has otherwise met all the requirements of section 2-69.3 and 2-69.3.1 of the city's code of ordinances. The lien existing on the property totals $17,500, and the owner agrees to pay $1,750 to settle and release the lien. The city will recommend the special magistrate the order entered reducing the lien to $1,750, and the owner agrees to make payment by August 30th of 2021. If the city does not receive payment set forth in the stipulation agreement shall be null and void, and no further action to be taken by the city, and the existing lien amount of $17,500 shall be reinstated.
And is that the one that the actual stipulation?
It's in there. Oh.
Okay, having reviewed the stipulated agreement between the parties and seeing that they have both signed, I hereby approve the stipulation in the amount of the lien reduction, the amount of $1,750 payable by August 30th of 2021, otherwise reverting back to the original lien amount in the amount of $17,500.
Next is item 4, case number 19-2189. This is a public request for a lien reduction. Property address is 1755 4th Avenue North. Property owner is Hannah King LLC, Officer Hicks, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Hannah King versus City of Lake Worth Beach, property located at 1755 4th Avenue North, Lake Worth Beach, Florida. This property is otherwise free of all outstanding debts due to the city, and all administrative costs assessed in the underlying code compliance case for the lien have been paid. Owner has otherwise met all the requirements of section 2-69.3 and 2-69.3.1 of the city's code of ordinances. The lien existing on the property totaled $20,700, and the owner agrees to pay $1,490 to settle the lien. The city will recommend to the special magistrate that the order be entered reducing the lien to $1,490, and the owner agrees to make payment by August 30th of 2021. If the city does not receive the payment set forth in the above stipulated agreement shall be null and void, and no further action be taken by the city, and the existing lien amount of $20,700 shall be reinstated.
Alrighty, having reviewed the actual stipulated agreement signed by both parties, thereby showing agreement by the owner, I hereby approve the stipulation in the amount of $1,750 payable by August 30th of 2021. Failure to do so will revert back to the original lien amount of $17,500.
Oh, all right, I'm confused. I thought the original amount was 20,000.
Oh, I'm sorry. I read that. I was reading from the other one. Let me do that again.
Okay.
I read from 4. Okay, so having reviewed the stipulated agreement and confirming agreement between the parties to reduction of the amount of the lien to $1,490 payable by August 30th of 2021. Otherwise, failure to do so, it will revert back to the original lien amount of $20,700.
And for the record, it's less than 10%, probably.
Yes, so the owner submitted receipts for the work that was done on the property.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, next is item 5, case number 20-2503. This is a public request for an extension of time for compliance. The property address is 1618 South Federal Highway. Property owner is Lake Worth Oasis LLC, Officer Hicks.
The respondent requesting an extension of time for compliance in a timely manner, and the city is willing to extend the time for compliance to November 29th, 2021. Although the respondent is not present, we have an email from them agreeing to the extension of time,
What was that again? November what?
29th.
Okay, having reviewed the file and based on the testimony from the court officer after having been duly sworn in, I hereby grant the property owner's request for an extension to November 29th, 2021.
Okay, next is page 3, item number 6, case number 21-7. This is a public request for an extension of time for compliance at 1630 South Federal Highway. Property owner is Lake Worth Oasis LLC. Officer Hicks.
Respondent requests an extension of time for compliance in a timely manner, and the city is willing to extend the time for compliance to November 29th, 2021. Although the respondent is not present, we have an email from them agreeing to the extension of time,
And what's the extension of time to them to when?
November 29th.
Having reviewed the file and I'm considering the testimony from the officer, I hereby grant the request for extension to November 29th, 2021.
Okay, next is page 5, item number 14, case number 20-275. Property address is 2204 7th Avenue North. Property owner is George T. Elmore, trustee, Officer Hicks, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Person signed a stipulated agreement has the authority to enter into the stipulated agreement and bind the representative parties to the terms contained herein. The violations exist on the property located at 2204 7th Avenue North. The owner is granted until 8/30 of 2021 to obtain compliance as specified in Exhibit A. If the owner does not correct the violations and bring the property into compliance with the code section cited in Exhibit A by the date set forth, a fine of $100 per day will be assessed.
Okay, this one being new business, I see that there was no agreement in reference to the admin.
For stipulated agreements, they pay a stipulated agreement fee rather than an administrative fee.
Thank you for clarifying. All righty, I hereby find after reviewing the case file and reviewing the stipulated agreement, which has already been signed by the property owner and the city, I hereby approve the stipulated agreement to work being completed by but the property in compliance by 8/30/2021. Otherwise, face a fine of $100 a day until the violation is corrected. Violations are corrected.
Okay, next, we're going to go to page 3 of the agenda, item number 7, case number 19-49. This is a public request for a lien reduction. Property address of 927 North L Street. Property owner is Alona Porter, Officer Thomas. Oh, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Officer Thomas, City of Lake Worth Beach Code Compliance, case number 1949, City of Lake Worth versus Alana Porter. There is a code enforcement lien on the property located at 927 North L Street, Lake Worth Beach, Florida. The lien existing on the property totals $17,325, and owner agrees to pay $1,732.50 to settle and release the lien. The city will recommend to the special magistrate that an order be entered reducing the lien to $1,732.50, and owner agrees to make payment by August 30th, 2021. If the city does not receive payment as set forth above, the stipulated agreement shall be null and void with no further action to be taken by the city, and the existing lien in the amount of $17,325 shall be reinstated.
Okay, I reviewed the file and read the stipulated agreement and noticing that both parties have agreed by signing the document. I hereby approve the stipulation, reducing the original final amount of $17,325 down to $1,732.50, payable by August 30th of 2021. Otherwise, it will revert back to the $17,325. Thank you.
Okay, next we're gonna go to page 6 of the agenda, item number 17, case number 19-3404. Property address of 1310 South Federal Highway. Property owner is Sunnyside in Florida, 11 LLC, Officer Thomas, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Officer Thomas, City of Lake Worth Beach Code Compliance. The violations that exist at the owner's property located at 1310 South Federal Highway, Lake Worth Beach, Florida. For the violations cited are attached in Exhibit A. The owner is granted until September 13, 2021 to obtain compliance as specified in Exhibit A. Owner understands and agrees that they will not be entitled to an extension of time to correct the violation and agrees that they will not request the same. If the owner does not correct the violations and bring the property into compliance with the code section cited in Exhibit A by the date set forth in Section 3 above, a fine of $75 per day will be assessed, beginning on the date set forth in Section 3 above. The fine to be imposed will become a lien on the property where the violation exists and upon any other real or personal property of the violation owner.
Okay. Having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement between the parties, noticing that both parties have already signed this agreement, I hereby approve that stipulation in which the property owner will come into compliance by September 13th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $75 a day until the violation is corrected.
Next is page 7, item number 18, case number 20-883, property address of 1705 North M Street. Property owner is O'Day Enterprises LLC, Officer Thomas, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Officer Thomas, City of Lake Worth Beach Code Compliance, case 20-883. The violation exists at the owner's property located at 1705 North M Street, Lake Worth Beach, Florida. The owner is granted until September 13, 2021 to obtain compliance as specified in Exhibit A. Owner understands and agrees that she will not be entitled to an extension of time to correct the violations and agrees that she will not request the same. If the owner does not correct the violations and bring the property into compliance with the code section cited in Exhibit A by the date set forth in Section 3 above, a fine of $75 per day will be assessed beginning on the date set forth in Section 3 above. The fine to be imposed will become a lien on the property where the violation exists and upon any other real or personal property of the owner violator.
All right, having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement between the parties, notice that both parties have signed the document. I hereby grant the stipulated, I hereby approve the stipulated agreement, granting the property owner to come into compliance by September 13th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $75 a day until the violation is corrected.
Okay, item 19, case number 20-1830 is complied. Item 20, case number 20-1870, and that's flipping over, continuing on page 8. Property address of 806 11th Avenue North. Property owner is Robert D. Patterson, Officer Thomas, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Officer Thomas, City of Lake Worth Beach Code Compliance, case number 20-1870. The violations exist at the property's owner located at 806 11th Avenue North, Lake Worth Beach, Florida. The owner is granted until September 13th, 2021 to obtain compliance as specified in Exhibit A. Owner understands and agrees that they will not be entitled to an extension of time to correct the violation and agrees that they will not request same. If the owner does not correct the violations and bring the property into compliance with the code section cited in Exhibit A above by the date set forth in Section 3 above, a fine of $75 per day will be assessed beginning on the date set forth in Section 3 above. The fine to be imposed will become a lien on the property where the violation exists and upon any other real or personal property of the violator owner.
All right, having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement between the parties, I hereby approve said stipulation wherein the owner agrees to comply by September 13th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $75 a day until the violation is corrected.
Next is item 21, case number 20-2702, Property address is 502 Worthmore Drive. Property owner is Ashley Vance, Officer Thomas.
Officer Thomas, City of Lake Worth Beach Code Compliance. Address is 502 Worthmore Drive, Lake Worth Beach, Florida. The violations on the property are as follows: LWCO 1432, business license required. LWCO 1435, use and occupancy inspection needed. LWCO 23.6-1, landscaping. LWCO 12-17, garbage cans in public view, has complied. Issued formal notice of violation on 5/4/2021 by certified mail. Certified mail was not received. Property was posted on 5/21/2021. Property was then re-inspected on 5/21/2021 for an NOV inspection, found to be in non-compliance. Photographs of the property have been taken showing the violations. I have had personal contact with the property owner. Recommendation time is for September 13th, 2021, or a fine of $75 per day. Administrative costs of $425.29 to also be paid by September 13th, 2021.
Having reviewed the file and confirming that the violations do exist and service was properly accomplished, I hereby find that the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. I'm hereby ordering the property owner to come into compliance by September 13th. Otherwise, face a fine of $75 a day until the violation is corrected. I am also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 in regards to administrative fees and costs incurred by the city in bringing this matter before the magistrate. This amount shall also be payable by or before September 13th.
Okay, next is item 22, case number 21-590 is complied. Item 23, case number 21-662, property address of 1003 North L Street. Property owner is 1003 North L Inc., Officer Thomas, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Officer Thomas, City of Lake Worth Beach Code Compliance, case number 21-662. The violations exist at the owner's property located at 1003 North L Street, Lake Worth Beach, Florida. The owner is granted until September 13th, 2021 to obtain compliance as specified in Exhibit A. Owner understands and agrees that they will not be entitled to an extension of time to correct the violations and agrees that they will not request the same. The owner does not correct the violations and bring the property into compliance with the code section cited in Exhibit A by the date set forth in the Section 3 above. A fine of $75 per day will be assessed, beginning on the date set forth in Section 3 above. The fine to be imposed will become a lien on the property where the violations exist and upon any other real or personal property of the violator owner.
Having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement, noticing that both parties have signed the document, I hereby approve the stipulation and wherein the owner agrees to come into compliance by September 13, 2021, otherwise face a fine of $75 a day until the violation is corrected. I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $425. Wait, sorry, no. Goes to the 75, scratch that.
Okay. Next is page 9, item 24, case number 21-706. Property address is 1605 North K Street. Property owner is Guadalupe Shield Trust, Officer Thomas, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Officer Thomas, City of Lake Worth Beach Code Compliance, case number 21-706. The violations exist at the property owner's location, 1605 North K Street, Lake Worth Beach, Florida. The owner is granted until September 13th, 2021 to obtain compliance as specified in Exhibit A. Owner understands and agrees that she will not be entitled to an extension of time to correct the violations and agrees that she will not request same. The owner does not correct the violations and bring the property into compliance with the code section cited in Exhibit A by the date set forth in Section 3 above. A fine of $75 per day will be assessed beginning on the date set forth in Section 3 above. The fine to be imposed will become a lien on the property where the violation exists and upon any other real or personal property of the violator owner.
Having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement, noticing that both parties have signed the document, I hereby approve the stipulated agreement wherein the owner agrees to comply by bringing the property into compliance by September 13th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $75 a day until the violation is corrected.
Item 25, case number 21-1148 has been rescheduled for August 26th.
Okay.
Item 26, case number 21-1149 has been rescheduled for August 26th. Page 10, item 27, case number 21-1150 has been rescheduled to August 26th. Those questions, please, Officer Thomas.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to stay on page 10. Item number 28, case number 20-1552, property address of 225 South L Street. Property owner is Paul G. Doyle. Officer Beware.
Thank you.
Case number is 20-1552. Owner's name is Paul G. Doyle. Address P.O. Box 385, East Rockaway, New York, 11518. The property location is 225 South L Street. The case was initiated as a complaint on 5/26/20. Existing violations, 14-35, use and occupancy certification, 2-756.2, general requirements. This property was cited back in May 26. They have a couple of interior violations. Due to COVID-19, we won't be entering the residential property at this time. But the owner has agreed to comply to violations by applying for an electrical permit to comply the repairs for the water heater and also to show proof of installation of smoke detectors. The property received a formal notice of violation on 6/23/21. The property was posted on 6/29/21. The last reinspection was on 7/23/21. I have photographs of the property. I have had contact with the owner. The recommendation time is 8/30/21 with a fine of $100 per day with administration cost of $425.29 to be paid by 8/30/21.
I hereby find that based on the evidence presented that the violation stated in the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. I hereby order the property owner to come into compliance by August 30th. Otherwise, face a fine of $100 a day until the violation is corrected. I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 and fees and costs incurred by the city in bringing this matter before the magistrate.
Next is item 29, case number 21-20. Property address is 415 Ocean Breeze. Property owner is Barbara and Neil Carnum Trust. Officer Beware.
That was 415 Ocean Breeze.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Case number is 21-20. Owners are Carmen and Barbara. Neil and Trust. The address is 3764 Fieldbrook Road, McKinley Valley, California. Property location is 415 Ocean Breeze. This started as a complaint. The case was initiated on January 6, 2021. Existing violations, 14-35, use not to be inspection, 2-756.2, general requirements, 23.2-21, building permits, 23.4-19, outdoor storage, 23.6-1, landscape regulations. Violation has been complied or resolved. 12-18, area free of garbage and trash. 15-39, abandoned property. 2-75.9, landscaping. Formal notice was issued by mail on June 10th, 2021. The property was the certified mail was not received, and the property was posted on 6/14/2021. The last reinspection was on July 27, 2021. I had contact with the owner. Photographs were taken of the property. The recommendation time is September 29, 2021, of a fine of $100 per day. Administration cost of $425.29 to be paid by 9/29/21.
Yeah. I hereby find, based on the evidence presented, that the violations as stated in the violation that exist and continue to exist. I hereby order the property owner to come into compliance by September 29th, 2021. Otherwise, face a fine of $100 a day until the violations are corrected. And I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 in fees and costs incurred by the city in bringing this matter before the magistrate.
Page 11, item number 30, case number 21-93 is complied. Item 31, case number 21-115, property address is 310 North M Street. Property owner is Edith and Norman Site. Officer Beware.
Case number 21-115, owners Edith and Norman Site, property address, the owner's address is 2520 Village Lane, Apartment B, and Oshkosh. The property location is 310 North M Street. It will start as a complaint. The case was initiated on January 14, 2021. Existing violations, 14-35, using off-speed inspection, 23.2-21, building permits, 23.4-7, maintenance of parking lots. Violation has been complied or resolved. 2-756.2, general requirements, 23.4-19, outdoor storage, 23.6-1, landscape regulations. The owner was notified via certified mail on 3/12/21. The certified mail was received on 3/29/21. The last reinspection was on 7/27. I have not had contact with the owner. The property does have photographs. The recommendation time for compliance is 9/30/21 or fine of $100 per day with administration cost of $425.29 to be paid by 9/30/21.
Okay, I hereby find based on the evidence presented that the violations as stated in the notice of violation that exists and service process was accomplished. I hereby order the property owner to comply by September 30th of 2021. Otherwise, face a fine of $100 a day until the violation is corrected. In addition, I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 in fees and costs incurred in bringing this matter before the magistrate.
Next is item 32, case number 21-136. It's complied. Going to go to page 12 of the agenda. Item 33, case number 21-228 is complied. Item 34, case number 21-818, property address is 411 8th Avenue North. Property owner is Manuel A. Antonio. Officer Beware.
Case number 21-818, owner Antonio Manuel, address 225 North Palmway, Lake Worth, Florida. The property location is 411 8th Avenue North. This started as a complaint. The case initiated on 4/5/21. Existing violations, 14-32, business license, 14-35, use and off-speed inspection, 2-756.2, general requirements, and 23.6-1, landscape regulations. The violation has been complied or resolved. 12-17, storage accumulation, 12-18, area free of garbage and trash, 23.4-19, outdoor storage, 2-75.9, landscaping. The owner was notified via certified mail on 5/5/21. Certified mail was received on 5/10/21. The property is posted on 5/7/21. The last reinspection was on 7/28/21. There's photographs of the property. I have not had contact with the owner. The recommendation time is 8/30/21, a fine of $100 per day with administration cost of $425.29 to be paid by 8/30/21.
I hereby find that based on the evidence presented, that the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. I'm hereby ordering the property owner to come into compliance by August 30th of 2021. Otherwise, face a fine of $100 a day until the violations are corrected. I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 in fees and costs incurred by the city in bringing this matter before the magistrate.
Page 13, item 35, case number 21-819 has been rescheduled to September 30th. Item 36, case number 21-850, property address of 622 North Federal Highway. Property owner is GIR Property LLC. Officer Beware.
Case number 21-850, owner GIR Property LLC, address 4397 Falls Road, Lake Worth, Florida. Property location 612 North Federal Highway. This started out as a complaint. The case was initiated on 4/28/21. Existing violations, 12-17, storage accumulation, 14-32, business license, 14-35, use and off-speed certification, 2-756.2, general requirements, 2-756.6, fire safety requirements, 2-75.9, landscaping, 23.4-7, parking lot maintenance, 23.6-1, landscape regulations. The violations have been complied or resolved is 23.4-19, outdoor storage, and 23.2-21, building permits. The certified letter was issued on 5/5/21. The certified mail was received on 5/8/21. The property was posted on 5/7/21. The last reinspection was on July 26/21. Photograph was taken of the property. I've had no contact with the owner. The recommendation time is 9/30/21. A fine of $100 per day with administration costs of $425.29 be paid by 9/30/21.
Okay, I hereby find that based on the evidence presented, the violations as stated and the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. I'm hereby ordering the property owner to come into compliance by September 30th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $100 a day until the violations are corrected. I'm hereby also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 in fees and costs incurred by the city in bringing this matter before the magistrate.
Item 37, case number 21-871, property address of 425 North K Street. Property owner is Jacob Cohen, office beware.
Case number is 21-871, owner Jacob Cohen, address Profix Property Management LLC, CO 950 Peninsula Corporate, Circle Suite 1017, Boca Raton, Florida. The property location is 425 North K Street. This started as a complaint. The case initiated on 4/12/21. Existing violations, 14-32 business license, 14-35 use and occupancy inspection, 2-75 6.2 general requirements, 23.2-21 building permits, 23.6-1 landscape regulations. The violations that have been resolved or complied is 2-75.9 landscaping. The letter of form of the issue of form of notice was issued, the letter of certified mail was issued on May 5th, 2021. The certified mail was not received. The property was posted on May 7th, 2021. The last reinspection was on July 23rd, 2021. Photographs was taken of the property. I have had no contact with the owner. The recommendation time is 9/29/21, or a fine of $100 per day with administration costs of $425.29 to be paid by 9/29/21. Can I correct that recommendation time to 9/30/21?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Just keep it consistent. All right, I hereby find that the violations as stated and the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. I'm hereby ordering the property owner to come into compliance by September 30th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $100 a day until the violation is corrected. I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 for fees and costs incurred in bringing this matter before the magistrate.
Next is item 39, case number, 38.
38.
Sorry, item 38, case number 21-915, property address of 515 North L Street. Property owner is Olin Properties LLC, Office of Aware, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
The city of Lake Worth Beach has entered to a stipulated agreement with the property owners of Olin Properties LLC, that the person signing the stipulated agreement have the authority to enter into the stipulated agreement and bind, that the violation exists in the owner's property located at 515 North L Street, Lake Worth Beach. The owner is granted until August 30th, 2021 to obtain compliance as specified in Exhibit A. Owner understands and agrees that if he or she will not be entitled to an extension of time to correct the violation, and agrees that he or she will not The owner is granted until August 30th of 2021 to obtain compliance as specified in Exhibit A. Owner understands and agrees that he or she will not be entitled to an extension of time to correct the violations, and agree that he or she will not request the same. That if the owner does not correct the violations and bring the property into compliance with the code section cited in Exhibit A by the set date set forth in Section 3 above the fine, there'll be set a fine of $100 per day will be assessed. The owner understands that City of Lake Worth Beach Code compliance will conduct a reinspection of the property to verify whether necessary corrections have been complied from Exhibit A.
Okay, having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement between the parties, noticing that both parties have already signed, showing that they both approve to the terms therein, I hereby approve said stipulation wherein the property owner will come into compliance, agrees to come into compliance by August 30th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $100 a day until the violation is corrected.
Next is item 39, case number 21-1646, property address of 303 South J Street. Property owner is Larry and Terry Feldman, Officer Guerrero.
Case number 21-1646, Larry and Terry Fieldman, address 303 South J Street, Lake Worth, Florida. The proper location is 303 South J Street. This started as a complaint. The case was initiated on 6/28/21. Existing violations, 23.2-21 building permit. Violation has been complied or resolved. 12-17 storage accumulation, 12-21 airfield garbage, 23.6-1 landscape regulations, and 2-756.2 general requirements. The letter of formal notice was issued on 6/29/21. The property was posted on 7/6/21. The last reinspection was conducted on July 28, 2021. I've had contact with the owner. Photograph was taken with the property. The recommendation time is 8/30/21 with a fine of $75 per day, when the administration costs of $425.21 to be paid by 8/30/21.
Okay. I hereby find, based on the evidence presented, that the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. I'm hereby ordering the property owner to come into compliance by August 30th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $75 a day until the violations are corrected. I am also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 as incurred by the city in bringing this matter before the magistrate.
Okay, that concludes us for Officer Guerrero. And we are going to go now to page 4. Item number 10, case number, Tamika Clinton Bush is next. Item number 10, case number 19-1035. It's a public request for a lien reduction. Property address is 211 North D Street. Case name was Beneva LLC. The new owner is GRDY Investments LLC, Officer Clinton Bush. Oh, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Officer Clinton Bush with the City of Lake Worth Beach Public Finance previously sworn. This is property address is 211 North D Street. The persons executing the stipulated agreement have the authority to enter into the stipulated agreement and bind the respective parties to the terms and conditions thereof. The property is otherwise free of all outstanding debts due to the city and has met all requirements of sections 2-69.3, 2-69.3.1 of the city's code of ordinances relating to the reduction for the code enforcement liens. The lien existing on the property totals $43,900, and the owner agrees to pay $4,390 to settle and release the lien. The city will recommend to the special magistrate that the order be entered reducing the lien to $4,390, and the owner agrees to make the payment by August 30th, 2021. If the special magistrate does not agree with the amount stipulated agreement, the case will be reset to a new hearing date.
Okay, I noticed that the stip that was provided to me is not signed, but I am seeing a document here that has like almost a, we agree that the stip is not signed. What we have is, where is that? These ones? The only thing I have here is the application for reduction of fees, which is signed by me. But I don't have anything. Oh, there it is. Okay.
I apologize.
Okay, that's okay. All right, having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement, noticing that the owner did sign the terms contained therein, I hereby approve the stipulation wherein the fines are reduced to $4,390 payable by August 30th. And if the owner fails to pay by August 30th of 2021, it shall revert back to the original amount of $43,900.
Thank you, Special Magistrate.
Next is item 11, case number 17-781. It's a public request for a lien reduction. Property address is 410 South K Street. Property owner is Colin Howell Estate, Officer Clinton Bush, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
What agenda item is this one?
Item number 11.
Oh.
Officer Clinton Bush with the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance previously sworn. We are with the property located at 410 South K Street. The person executing the stipulated agreement have the authority to enter into the agreement and bind the respective parties to the terms contained therein. The property is free of all outstanding debts due to the city and administrative costs, and meet the requirements of sections 2-69.3, 2-69.3.1 of the city's codes of ordinances. The lien existing on the property totals $67,200, and the owner agrees to pay $6,720 to settle and release the lien. The city will recommend to the special magistrate that an order be entered reducing the lien to $6,720, and the owner agrees to make the payment by August 30th, 2021. And if the special magistrate does not agree with the amount stipulated agreement, the case will be reset to a new hearing date.
Okay, having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement between the parties, noticing that the parties have signed the document, including the owner, thereby agreed to the terms contained therein. I hereby approve the stipulation in the amount of $6,720, which shall be paid by August 30th of 2021. Otherwise, it will revert back to the original lien amount of $67,200.
Next, we're gonna go to page 19, item number 51, case number 20-231. Property address is 323 South D Street. Property owner is Scott D. Newsom, Officer Clinton Bush, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Officer Clinton Bush with the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance previously sworn. And we're here with the property located at 323 South D Street. The person signing the stipulated agreement have the authority to enter into the stipulation and bind respective parties to the terms contained herein. The owner is granted until August 30th, 2021 to obtain compliance as specified in Exhibit A. The owner understands and agrees that if he or she will not be entitled to an extension of time, that the owner does not correct the violations and bring the property into compliance with the code sections cited in Exhibit A by the date set forth of August 30th, 2021, that a fine of $100 per day will be assessed beginning on that date. The owner understands that the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance Officer will re-inspect the property to verify whether the necessary work has been completed.
Okay, having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement between the parties, acknowledging that both parties have signed the document, thereby agreeing to the terms contained therein, I hereby approve said stipulation, wherein the property owner has agreed to come into compliance by August 30th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $100 a day until the violations are corrected.
Thank you. Item 52, case number 20-615 has been rescheduled to September 30th. We're gonna go to page 20, item number 53, case number 20-784. Property address is 1012 8th Avenue North. Property owner is San Francisco Socorro, Officer Clinton Bush, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Officer Clinton Bush with the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance previously sworn. The person signing the stipulated agreement have the authority to enter into the stipulation and bind the respective parties to the terms contained herein. The violations existing at the owner's property located at 1012 8th Avenue North. The owner is granted until August 30th, 2021 to obtain compliance as specified in Exhibit A. The owner understands and agrees that he or she will not be entitled to an extension of time to correct the violations, and that if the owner does not correct the violations or bring the property into compliance with the code sections cited in Exhibit A by the date set forth in Section 3 above, a fine of $100 per day will be assessed. The owner understands that the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance Officer will re-inspect the property to verify whether the necessary work has been completed to correct the violation.
Okay, having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement, noticing that both parties have signed the document, thereby agreeing to the terms contained therein, I hereby approve the stipulation wherein the owner has agreed to come into compliance by August 30th, 2021, otherwise face a fine of $100 a day until the violation is corrected.
Next is item 54, case number 20-799, property address of 501 Sunrise Court. Property owner is Anastasio Lalos, Officer Clinton Bush.
Officer Clinton Bush with the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance Division. This is case number 2799. Anastasio Lalos in the property located at 501 Sunrise Court. The property was found to be in violations of code sections Liquor Code of Ordinances 14-32 and 14-35 to apply for and obtain the City of Liquid Beach business license and approved inspections. Liquor Code of Ordinances 12-14, garbage containers or recyclable being stored in plain view. Liquor Code of Ordinances 2-75.9, landscape shall be maintained to cut more overgrowth and start all bare areas of undergrowth. Liquor Code of Ordinances 2-75.6.2, the shutter shall be removed within 14 days following the clearance of a storm. Liquor Code of Ordinances 23.2-21, to apply for and obtain a permit and approved inspection for the erected fence. Lakewood Code of Ordinances, Lakewood zoning code 23.4-4 for fences, walls, and gates to remove or permit the wooden fence installed without a permit. Lakewood Code of Ordinances 21-33.3 is in compliance, and that's prohibited parking to remove the vehicle prohibitedly parked and stored on the lawn. The property was inspected, the notice of violation and notice of hearing was mailed on March 11, 2021. The certified mail was returned. The property was posted on March 16, 2021. The property was re-inspected on July 28, 2021. There has been contact with the owner via email and telephone. At this time, the city makes a recommendation that the property come into compliance by August 30th, 2021, or a fine of $100 per day be assessed, and an administrative cost of $425.29 to be paid by August 30th, 2021.
How much was the per diem again? 100?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Alrighty, I hereby find that based on the evidence presented, that service was achieved, and that the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. I'm hereby ordering the property owner to come into compliance by August 30th of 2021, otherwise pays a fine of $100 a day until the violation is corrected. In addition, I'm granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 for fees and costs incurred in bringing this matter before the magistrate.
Thanks, Mr. Magistrate.
Thank you.
Next, we're gonna go to page 21. Item 55, case number 20-1741 is complied. Item 56, case number 20-1848, property address of 1709 Sunset Avenue. Property owner is Ali and Hana Luri, trustee, Officer Clinton Bush.
Okay, hold on, which one's that one again?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's item number 56. Case number
56.
20-1848, page 21.
Thank you.
Officer Clinton Bush with the City of Liquid Beach Code Compliance Division, previously sworn, case number 21-1600, Hana Luri Trust Title Holder, and the property address located at 1709 Sunset Avenue, which is also the mailing address. Issued a formal notice of violation, notice appearing on March 11, 2021 by certified mail. Certified mail was delivered on March 15, 2021, hand delivery to persons there. The property was posted on March 17, 2021 at the property and at 1900 Second Avenue North. The property was re-inspected on July 28, 2021 found to be in non-compliance. There are photographs in the file that are accurate representation of what I witnessed. There has been no contact with the property owner. The violations that exist at the property is landscaping ordinances, Lakewood Code of Ordinances 2-75.9. Landscape shall be maintained, cut more all overgrowth, provide living ground cover to all areas that exhibit signs of undergrowth, bare areas or dead side, trim all trees. Lakewood Code of Ordinances 23.2-21. Building permit. The building permit is required for all work completed with no permits to include the structure in the rear of the yard and the installation of the new door. Since the re-inspection, I have found that there are several more items that exist on the property, so it may be coming back to the next hearing. However, the city is recommending at this time that the property come into compliance by August 30th, 2021, or a fine of $100 per day, be assessed, and an administrative cost of $425.29 to be paid by August 30th, 2021 as well.
All right. Here I find that based on the evidence presented, that the property, that the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. I'm hereby ordering the property owner to come into compliance by August 30th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $100 a day until the violations are corrected. I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 as incurred by the city in bringing this matter before the magistrate. And I thought I talked fast. I love it.
Thank you. Okay, next is item 57, case number 20-2172. Property address is 808 North G Street. Property owner is A&H Real Estate Investment Group, Officer Clinton Bush, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement. Thank you.
Which with the city of Lakewood Beach Code compliance previously sworn. This property has entered into a stipulated agreement with A&H Real Estate Investment Group. The person signing the stipulated agreement had the authority to enter into the stipulation agreement, bind and respect the parties to the terms that are contained herein. The violations existing at the property located at 808 North G Street is provided in Exhibit A, and the owner is granted until September 29, 2021 to come into compliance as specified in Exhibit A. Owner understands and agrees that he or she will not be entitled to an extension of time to correct the violations, and agreeing the same, that if the owner does not correct the violations and bring the property into compliance with the code section cited in Exhibit A by the date set forth in Section 3, that above fine amount of $100 per day will be assessed. The owner understands that the city of Lakewood Beach Code compliance officer will re-inspect the property to verify whether the necessary work has been completed to correct the violations in Exhibit A.
Okay, having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement that has already been signed by both parties, thereby agreeing to the terms contained therein, I hereby approve the stipulation wherein the property owner has agreed to come into compliance by September 29th of 2021 and or otherwise pay otherwise pay a fine of $100 a day until the violation is corrected.
Thank you. Okay, next is item 58, case number 20-2636, property address of 527 North Dixie Highway, property owner is Fonseca Properties LLC, Officer Clinton Bush, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Up to 7 North Dixie Highway.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Officer Clinton Bush with the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance Division previously sworn, entered into a stipulated agreement with Palm Circle Properties LLC. The person signing the stipulated agreement have the authority to enter into the stipulation and bind and respect the parties to the terms contained herein. The violations existed on the owner's property located at 527 North Dixie Highway, Lakewood Beach, Florida. And that the owner is granted until September 29, 2021 to come into compliance as specified in Exhibit A, and the owner understands and agrees that he or she will not be entitled to an extension of time, and that the owner does not, if the owner does not correct the violations, bring the property into compliance with the code sections cited in Exhibit A fine of $100 per day will be assessed beginning on the date, and the owner understands that the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance Officer will re-inspect the property to verify whether the necessary work has been completed to correct the violations in Exhibit A.
Okay, having reviewed the file and read over the stipulation between the parties, I'm noticing that both parties have signed, even though the one by the owner is an e-signature. But it is under oath. Thereby agreeing to the terms contained therein, I hereby approve the stipulation wherein the property owner has agreed to come into compliance by September 29, 2021. Otherwise, there's a fine of $100 a day until the violations are corrected.
Thank you. Okay, next is page 22, item number 59, case number 21-141, property address of 501 South F Street, property owner Armstrong Holdings LLC, Officer Clinton Bush, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Officer Clinton Bush with the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance Division, the City of Lakewood Beach and the property owners Armstrong Holdings LLC have entered into a stipulated agreement that the person signing the stipulated agreement have the authority to enter into the stipulation and bind prospective parties to the terms contained herein. The violations existed on the owner's property located at 501 South F Street. The owner is granted until October 30th, 2021 to obtain compliance as specified in Exhibit A, and the owner understands that he or she will not be entitled to an extension of time to correct the violations. And that the owner does, if the owner does not correct the violations and bring the property into compliance with the code section cited in Exhibit A by the date set forth in Section 3, the above fine of $150 per day will be assessed beginning on the date set forth in Section 3. And that the owner understands that the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance Officer will re-inspect the property to verify whether the necessary work has been completed to correct the violations included in Exhibit A.
Okay, having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement, which has now been signed by both parties, thereby agreeing to the terms contained therein, I hereby approve said stipulation wherein the property owner has agreed to come into compliance by October 30th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $150 a day until the violations are corrected.
Thank you. Item 60, case number 21-285 has been rescheduled to August 26th. Item 61, case number 21-433, property address is 1720 Lavu Avenue. Property owners are Jose Luis Miranda Jr. and Yomar Miranda Fuentes, Officer Clinton Bush, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Officer Clinton Bush with the City of Liquid Beach Code Compliance Division previously sworn entered into a stipulated agreement with the owners, Miranda Jose Luis Jr. and Miranda P. The person signing the stipulated agreement have the authority to enter into the stipulation and by respect the parties to the terms herein. The violations existed on the owner's property located at 1720 Lakeview Avenue in Lakewood Beach, Florida, and that the owner is granted until September 29, 2021 to obtain compliance as specified in Exhibit A. Owner understands and agrees that he or she will not be entitled to an extension of time to correct violations and agrees that he or she will not request the same. That if the owner does not correct the violations of bringing the property into compliance with the code section cited in Exhibit A by the date set forth in Section 3 above, a fine of $100 per day will be assessed beginning on the date set forth in Section 3. And that the owner understands that the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance Officer will re-inspect the property to verify whether the necessary work has been completed to correct the violations in Exhibit A.
All right, having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement between the parties, which has already been signed by both parties, thereby agreeing to the terms contained therein, I hereby approve the stipulation wherein the property owner has agreed to come into compliance by September 29th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $100 a day until the violations are corrected.
Item 62, case number 21-641 is complied. We're going to go to page 23, item 63, case number 21-650, property address is 532 South D Street. Property owner is Henry Ralston, Officer Clinton Bush.
Officer Clinton Bush with the City of Liquid Beach Code Compliance Division. This is case number 21-0650 here in Boston, and the property address 532 South D Street. None address is the same. The property was found to be in violations of the city code section cited as Lakewood Code of Ordinances 2-75.6.2 general requirements. There was some issues with the property in general, sidewalk driveways, walkways, parking spaces in similar areas to be kept in proper state of repair and maintained free from hazardous conditions, exterior structure issues, facial areas, and the owners also needs to remove the shutters and boards from the windows. Also, on shutters should be removed 14 days following the clearance of the storm. Lakewood Code of Ordinances 12-18, areas free of garbage, trash, and debris to remove all garbage, trash, and debris stored on the rear of the property. Lakewood Code of Ordinances 23-4-19 to remove all outdoor storage creating a blighting influence. Lakewood Code of Ordinances 15-39 to remove all abandoned and inoperable vehicles and trailers without tags or expired tags or not registered. Lakewood Code of Ordinances 21-33.3 to refrain from parking or storing any vehicles on unapproved parking surfaces. Lakewood Code of Ordinances 2-75.9 restore the landscape in the rear of the property. The notice of violation and notice of hearing was mailed on April 15, 2021 by certified mail. The certified mail was returned on May 3rd, 2021. The property was posted on April 19, 2021. The property was re-inspected on July 28, 2021, found to be in non-compliance. There are photographs which are an accurate representation of what I witnessed. There has been no contact with the owner. At this time, the city is recommending that the property come into compliance by August 30th, 2021, or a fine of $75 per day be assessed and an administrative cost of $425.29 to be paid by August 30th, 2021.
Okay, I hereby find that based on the evidence presented, that service was achieved and that the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. I'm ordering the property owner to come into compliance by August 30th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $75 a day until the violations are corrected. In addition, I'm granting the city's request in the amount of $425.29 in administrative fees and cost incurred by the city and bringing this matter before the magistrate.
Thank you.
Item 64, case number 21-896 has been rescheduled to September 30th. Now we're gonna go to page 24, item 65, case number 21-897 has been rescheduled to August 26th. Item 66, case number 21-921, property address is 401 North East Street. Property owner is 2 Aaron 89 LLC, Officer Clinton Bush, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Officer Clinton Bush with the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance Division entered into a stipulated agreement with 2 Aaron 89 LLC, and that the person signing the stipulated agreement have the authority to enter into the stipulation and by respective parties to the terms contained herein. The violations existing on the owner's property located at 401 North East Street. The owner is granted until September 26, 2021 to obtain compliance as specified in Exhibit A. The owner understands and agrees that he or she will not be entitled to an extension of time to correct the violations and agrees that he or she will not request the same. That if the owner does not correct the violations or bring the property into compliance with the code section cited in Exhibit A by the date set forth in Section 3 above, a fine of $100 per day will be assessed beginning on the date set forth in Section 3. The fine to be imposed. The owner understands that the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance Officer will re-inspect the property to verify whether the necessary work has been completed to correct the violations in Exhibit A.
Okay, having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement between the parties, noting that both parties have signed the agreement, thereby agreeing to the terms contained therein, I hereby approve the stipulation wherein the owner has agreed to come into compliance by September 26, otherwise there's a fine of $100 a day until the violations are corrected.
Thank you. Item 67, case number 21-988 is complied. Page 25, case number item 68, case number 21-1080 is complied. Item 70, case number 21-1658, property address of 216 South B Street. Property owner is Lock LLC, Officer Clinton Bush, and they've entered into a stipulated agreement.
Officer Clinton Bush with the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance Division entered into a stipulated agreement with the owners, Lock LLC, and that the persons signing the stipulated agreement have the authority to enter into the stipulation and bind the respective parties to the terms contained herein, and that the violations exist on the owner's property located at 216 South Beach Street. The owner is granted until August 30th, 2021 to obtain compliance as specified in Exhibit A, and that the owner understands and agrees that he or she will not be entitled to an extension of time to correct the violations. And the owner agrees that he or she will not request the same. That if the owner does not correct the violations and bring the property into compliance with the code section cited in Exhibit A by the date set forth in Section 3, a fine of $100 per day will be assessed beginning on the date set forth in Section 3. And that the owner understands that the City of Lakewood Beach Code Compliance Officer will re-inspect the property to verify whether the necessary work has been completed to correct the violations in Exhibit A.
All right, having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement, which has already been signed by the parties, thereby agreeing to the terms contained therein, I hereby approve the stipulation wherein the owner has agreed to come into compliance by August 30th of 2021, otherwise face a fine of $100 a day until the violations are corrected.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Okay, now we're gonna go to page 1. Item number 1, case number 07-100137. It's a public request for a lien reduction. Property address is 1318 South M Street. Property owner is Matthew Mitchell and Linda Moore. Assistant Community Sustainability Director, Yolanda Robinson.
I was expecting the other direction.
Yolanda Robinson, City of Lakewood Beach, Code Compliance. The owner has entered into a stipulated agreement. The lien existing on the property totals $12,100. The owner agrees to pay $6,050 to settle and release the lien. And the city will recommend that special magistrate order to be entered, reducing the lien to $6,050. And owner agrees to make payment by August 27, 2021. If the special magistrate does not agree with the amount stipulated in agreement, the case will be reset to the new hearing date.
Okay. Having reviewed the file and read over the stipulated agreement for the lien reduction, given the fact that the property is in compliance, I'm gonna go ahead and approve the stipulated agreement, reducing the original amount of the lien in the amount of $12,100, reduced to $6,050, payable on or before August 27, 2021. Failure to pay by the August 27, 2021 deadline will result in the fines reverting back to the $12,100.
Next is item number 2, case number 19-2265. This is a public request. Property address is 2505 North Dixie Highway. Property owner is Arbor Square Realty Company, LLC. They've entered into a stipulated agreement, and its Assistant Community Sustainability Director, Yolanda Robinson.
The city entered into a stipulated agreement with the property owner on March 30th, 2021. The owner brought the property into complete voluntary compliance prior to the agreed compliance date. The city would like to have this agreement approved and ratified by the special magistrate.
Special magistrate, there's not a separate order on this, or if you would just sign the actual agreement.
Okay, so I'm just reading the fine. So the fine at this point in time, according to this agreement, it's at $21,750.
It was at the time of the agreement, but they have complied everything, so it will be down to 0.
Oh, we're
Yes,
completely gone. Okay, that's what I was looking for, from what to what. Okay. All right, based on the testimony from the city and the review of the stipulated agreement that has already been signed by both parties, I hereby approve said stipulation, reducing the fines to $0. And as such, I am signing.
Thank you. You did a wonderful job with the model. It's really nice. I have that on my desktop.
Today's the 28th, right?
29th.
July. Sorry.
There you go. Okay. And now I'm just going to read through the ones that I missed that have been complied or rescheduled. For the record. Page 5, item number 12, case number 20-982 is complied. Page 6, item 15, case number 21-157 is complied. Item 16, case number 21-379 is complied. Okay, page 7, I already got that one. Let's see what the next page is. Page 11, item number 30, case number 21-93 is complied. Item 32, case number 21-136 is complied. Page 12, item number 33, case number 21-228 is complied. Page 16, item 44, case number 21-156 is complied. Page 18, item number 48, case number 20-2075 has been rescheduled to August 26th. Item 49, case number 20-2706 is complied. Page 29, item number 77, case number 21-204 is complied. Item 30, case number 78, item 78, case number 21-229 has complied. Item 79, case number 21-230 has complied. Item 80, case number 21-266 has been rescheduled to September 30th. And how would you like me to do the authorization of foreclosure? Normally, I just confirm that they've all been recorded over 90 days and I read out the case numbers.
That's
Is that fine?
That's fine with me.
All of the following orders have been recorded for more than 90 days per Florida statute. Case number 12-353, case number 19-681. Case number 19-1645 was withdrawn. Case number 19-1937. Case number 19-2294 is withdrawn. Case number 19-2986. Case number 19-3159, which is withdrawn. Case number 19-3160 is withdrawn. Case number 19-3731. Case number 19-3733. Case number 19-3887. Case number 19-3973. Case number 19-3989. Case number 19-4042. Case number 19-4139, case number 19-4143, case number 19-4292, case number 20-31, and case number 20-217.
Okay, based on the evidence presented, these are approved for foreclosure based on the 90-day requirement having been met.
That concludes.
That concludes our agenda for today. Thank you all.
Adjourned.
Adjourned.